Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Shutterfly. If you're like us, you take a lot of pictures because you have a camera right in your hand all the time. How would you not take a lot of pictures? And we're taking all these pictures, more than we've ever taken in the history of the world.
What are you going to do with them all?
That's the thing. You used to get a solid picture, and then you'd look through them, and you could enjoy them. Now they're like back on your camera roll. You can't even find them. You don't want that. That's why the cool thing you need to do, and what I did, and I think it's pretty cool, is create a Shutterfly photo book.
Oh.
What I did, and you're going to enjoy this, Jimmy, because I haven't showed this to you yet, but took all of our pictures from being on tour this year.
Oh.
All live show pictures, us backstage, us on stage, doing all that stuff, and like some of the, just the venues and things, and made a little photo book out of that. Also, they have free 24-hour designer service as well. With their 24-hour designer service, a professional designer is going to lay out the book for you for free in just a day. Make something that means something with Shutterfly. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with promo code SMALLTOWN. See site for promotional details.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest 100% organic cotton sheets from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again. With sheets that feel breathable to sleep in, you'll experience the purest softness on night one and feel your sheets get even softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com with code WONDERY15. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
This week, we look at the dull, rural town of Wheatland, Wyoming, where we figure out that sometimes you just never know when murder will erupt. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. You nailed it once again. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, for joining us again on another glorious episode of Small Town Murder. My goodness, God, last week was crazy. That was
the fuck?
That was a crazy, insane episode.
You know what?
We're going to try to top it.
I got a message on Facebook from somebody that lives in the town and knows everybody involved, and she was so jacked to spew and spill all the
Hopefully
fucking
we didn't
dirt.
screw it up at all.
No,
it's a good
she
deal.
said it was great.
Oh, good deal.
She
See,
said it was
that
well
makes me
done.
feel
She said that
fulfilled.
What was the teacher's name again? Was it John? Dan? Was it, what is the fucking guy's name? Oh, anyway.
Michael.
Yeah,
Serbaugh.
Mike. Right.
Yeah.
So he would drink on the bus on the way to school.
Oh, wow.
She said he had booze hidden in the fucking
character.
in the ceiling of his classroom.
Wow.
The dude was a nut job, but she said he was a great guy.
Yeah,
So,
we apologize. We always say we never make fun of the victims.
Yeah,
we had to.
the victims are the kids.
That's what I mean. This guy was like on meth and doing all sorts of crazy. It was hard not to make fun of a guy who's on meth, who's like a teacher who's on meth with another meth head science teacher. It's crazy. So
It's bananas.
Never mind all that,
Great
guys.
story.
Let's get into this. First of all, for all of your needs, all of your small town murder and crime and sports merchandise needs, whether it's shirts, mugs, bath mats, whatever, you need to go to crimeinsports.threadless.com.
That's the one.
It's the only place to get those. Please visit there and wear them to a live show. Come to Boston on February the 18th. 1 p.m. show is the only one left, or the 4 p.m. Crime and Sports show. The 7 p.m. Small Town Murder is sold out.
Correct.
Those are both live podcasts. March 25th, Stand Up Live in Phoenix. Oh, that's our hometown, guys. So you want to get those tickets because they're going to sell.
You better do it quick because they are selling so fast.
They're selling fast, and I know there's 2.5 months left to go. It's amazing how fast they're going. It's our hometown, too, like we said, so there might be some people here that are
get those
friendly
tickets,
supporters.
Right. You can get those tickets at standuplive.com, and then click the Phoenix icon.
Yeah, not Alabama.
Don't go to Alabama.
Thank you, folks, for your iTunes reviews again this week. Man, you guys keep killing it on
Coming
that.
Through.
Thank you guys so much. It is not us. We're telling you. We've said it a million times. iTunes has a funky algorithm.
Right.
That no one understands exactly what makes those charts work, but we do know these reviews weigh heavily on them. So if you want to help us out on the business end, it is insanely insanely You can just give us 5 stars on iTunes. Say whatever you want. We don't care. It's not for our egos.
Doesn't matter.
Say something nice. Say something mean. It doesn't matter. As long as there's 5 stars. Also, the superstars that we're going to talk about later on, our list of producers that have been so generous and amazing to us this week. If you'd like to join that list and be our hero, you can do that by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports.
That's the one.
You can make a donation there, or one-time donations, which are just as appreciated. And God, we love them so much over there at PayPal.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. You guys, I'm telling you guys, we're blown away by it. Every cent you give us
is truly unbelievable.
We're just blown away by it. I don't even know what else to say, but thank you guys. PayPal, you can make a donation using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com.
That's the one.
Also, reminder, I think somewhere in the week of January 20-something, there, P.S. I Hate This Movie.
There it is.
Podcast with myself and
coming back.
My wife, Sarah Hunt, coming back again. I make fun of romantic comedies, and she makes fun of romantic comedies too. We both do, but she has a rundown. She kind of does what I do here, and I rant and rave and have lots of anger towards things, and it's a good time, so check that out. There's some back episodes on there to catch up on. One more thing, have to do it.
Yeah.
The disclaimer. You know it's coming, guys.
The worst.
You know it's coming. This is a comedy podcast.
It is.
And we always say, it's not that bad. We don't give the disclaimer to tell you how horrible things are inside.
Right.
We give the disclaimer because some people think that true crime and comedy should never be together at all.
They're horrible.
There never should be jokes anywhere near true crime. And we're just telling you, if that's what you're looking for, this is not the place for you.
No.
We're not jerks about it. We go out of our way. We try not to make fun or make jokes at the expense of the victims or of the victims' families. We say it all the time. We're assholes, but we're not scumbags. We're not looking to be jerks here. So if that all sounds good to you, then great. Welcome aboard. We're going to have a great time talking about some bad things that happen. If that's not okay with you, have a good one.
Goodbye.
See you later. Goodbye. It's not for you. You're not going to like it. And you're just you're going to complain
later.
You're
going to bitch.
So now that all those people are gone, I know what you're saying, everybody.
You're saying, shut up
and
give me murder.
Let's do it. Shut up and give me murder time, guys. Let's go on a trip, Jimmy. Shall we? You locked up? You loaded?
Yeah.
Getting out of the East Coast.
Thank Christ.
Thank Christ. Loading up. Taking off. We're heading west.
Okay.
We're heading out into the great wide open here, Jimmy. Some wide open spaces.
Yeah. Lots of mountains?
Sort of. There's mountains. And we're heading to Wyoming.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. The Wyoming where they made a state and everyone forgot to show up. Wheatland, Wyoming we're going to.
All right.
Wheatland, Wyoming sounds like a fun town.
Fantastic.
Like if you were like a kid who was, being recruited for colleges and that sort of thing, you'd be like, Wheatland, Wyoming? Well, that sounds like the place I want to be. That sounds like spring break good times there.
No doubt.
No, it's Wheatland, Wyoming.
It sounds
boring.
Like Wheatland.
It's the land of wheat.
Right.
And
that sounds terrible.
Wyoming is the weirdest state. If you're not from the U.S., it's a big, fat, square state. It's the size of like half of Europe, basically. It's a giant.
It is big.
It's a giant
and
state.
And if you've ever driven through it,
it never ends.
No,
it never ends.
Every 2-3 miles looks like the past 2-3 miles. And everything's the same.
Now, granted, there are some beautiful parts of Wyoming. Absolutely gorgeous, and mountains and things like you've never seen before. But still not enough of a draw for anyone to actually live there. And if you drive through Wyoming, there's a highway that goes all the way from east to west across Wyoming.
It's
thank
straight.
God. It's straight as can be. It's the only state where the entire highway is fenced. Because there are just wild bison and shit and buffalo wandering around, and things that you thought were extinct for 100 years are trying to get out into the highway. And you're like, what is that? What is going on? There's signs that say, hey, if it starts snowing, you're screwed.
You're fucked.
You're hours. No one's going to help you, and you're stuck here.
Just fucking build a fire.
Yeah, we stopped at a town for gas, and they were like, yeah, if it snows, basically, you're just stuck here till it clears up. So we're like, how long? It could be weeks. Yeah. It's like you could just be stuck in this.
But Jackson Hole, Wyoming, holy shit, is it so much fun?
It's beautiful, yeah, and there's
so much fun.
Very expensive and very,
that's true.
Yeah, it's a very kind of upper crust kind of a place.
Affluent hillbillies.
But this is not there. We're going to Wheatland, Wyoming, not Jackson Hole. This is in southeastern Wyoming.
Oh, boy.
It is nowhere near anything.
Okay.
To say if it's, a couple hours from Cheyenne. So that tells you a lot right there. There's not a lot going on.
Nothing.
It's near bison. That's what it's near. Just hordes of bison. Yeah. That's the closest thing. It's in Platte County, which everything seems to be a butte or a Platte or something like that.
Everything in that area of the country is named something Platte. There's Platte Springs, Platte
lots
Railroad.
Of Platte action.
Yeah, everything is Platte. I think is there a mountain there named Platte or some shit?
It has to be some form of
Platte, right?
Yeah, I think it's something. I think it's something like a butte. There's a butte and a
it's
Platte
a fucking
and some sort of
landform.
I was going to say some sort of geological. I was going to say geographical, and that's not the correct word. Sleep more than 2 hours a night, idiot, and maybe you won't have that. We're recording a day early today, so my schedule is thrown way off, and I have not slept. So let's have some fun here. I'm going to be punchy. It's 4.10 square miles.
Oh.
So it's a decent sized little town. By the way, outside of the town stuff, sidetrack one moment at the end of the show, after all the murders taking place, we're going to have a couple of memories of the show. We're going to give out a couple awards.
Oh, terrific.
Just a couple, not like the scummy awards on Crime and Sports, which is a long production. Just a couple awards and a couple of, a lot of people ask us questions about the show.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing you've heard? What made you uncomfortable? Yeah. And we'll answer those and just
That's
do that.
Easy. Yeah.
Just a couple minutes at the end to do that. So back into this. Zip code 82201, area code 307. The motto for this town is "Stay away from here. It's terrible." No, that's not the real motto. It should be. It really should. There is no motto. No motto for the county.
They don't have time for it.
They don't have people for it. They're just like, I don't know. There's one guy running the whole town. He doesn't have time to think up mottos and shit on top of city planning and sewage and all that. He's got a lot to do. This guy's very busy. One dude just put a pond sitting there. I don't know. I know there's nobody here, but still, someone has to do some of this shit.
Tomorrow the motto may change anyway. It's just me.
Depends
on my attitude.
Yeah. Depends on if I decide to make this even more of a small-town murder. Yeah, that's what the small-town murder is about. It's the guy who runs the city.
Small-town suicide, because nobody there to murder him.
Small-town mayors, and it's just murdering everyone in town. He's like, there, done. There's your motto, dickheads. Have that. You guys want a motto? There's a motto. Everyone's dead. There's your motto. Wheatland, Wyoming.
Just me.
They're all dead. The whole history of this place is a Sahara Desert fart fact.
Really?
The entire history.
Everything is
very arid.
Okay.
And it's funny because it's described in the 1800s as being very arid around there. And I'm like, arid is the perfect word for it. This is the driest place. It's very strange. Like through the 1800s here, it was sheep ranching, cattle ranching. It's ranching. It's wide open spaces.
Sure.
This is where you'd want to ranch, I suppose, if that's what you're into.
I suppose.
I don't know. One thing I know nothing about is ranching.
Okay.
I'll say, guys, it's a little embarrassing for me to say this, but I don't know a lot know ranching.
My grandpa would tell you so much.
I bet. Yeah,
and you would fall asleep.
I am Italian and from New York. I know no one in my family's ever been a rancher. I know nothing about ranching whatsoever. So
my family used to drink beers out of those like pull tab, like the things that had like the cover, like those were in our campfire and stuff.
Well, I think that's all there was till like the 70s.
I'm sure, but
they
I'm
still
sure
had
there
them in the 80s was
then
the problem.
too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying that's the ones that they chose because they were probably cheaper, and it still fucks you up.
It still fucks you up, man.
It makes you forget that you're eating beans out of a can that you warmed on a fire. Like everything, my grandfather would be able to tell you so much dude rant shit, and you'd be impressed with him and be like, why is Jimmy such a loser?
So far, all you've mentioned is fire things. That drink beer by the fire and eat beans by the fire.
That's basically ranching. Ranching is just sitting by a fire with wildlife around
eating gassy products around a fire. That's all ranching is. All right, here's ranching. Why is everyone saying this is such hard work? It's kind of easy.
All you're doing is eating cheap, shitty food.
I like beans, and beer's pretty good. Fires are nice. I don't understand why this is hard. Oh, yeah, there's animals.
Oh, yeah, there's actually shit you have to do during the day. Shit. And then all night long, I don't know, sit by a fire, drink pull tab beer, eat shitty food, and if you watch Brokeback Mountain fuck each other in a terrible tent.
In a terrible tent, not even a good tent. No. You don't have that. Well, a couple of the people who were out there doing this, sitting around a campfire, were Alexander and Thomas Swan, a couple of brothers. They formed the Swan Land and Cattle Company.
Yeah.
So that's
clever.
Yeah, they headquartered it in Chugwater.
Really?
Chugwater.
Where the fuck is that?
It's around. Who the hell knows? These towns.
Somewhere that you chug water?
These towns aren't even towns. In this, half the towns in the state are just names of shit. They're not even towns. They're just names with a
camps.
sign. They were camps 200 years ago, and they still have a name for some reason. It's like, no. It's nothing now.
Then somebody staked the house to the ground rather than they took the wheels off it. That's what they did.
That's exactly right. At its peak, these brothers said they had 100,000 head of cattle.
Wow.
So that's ranging from Ogallala, Nebraska, all the way to Rawlins, Wyoming.
Why do they do that, by the way? Why do they say 100,000 head of cattle? Why don't you just say 100,000 cattle?
Yeah,
you just
we assume
added
they all
extra
have
words.
heads. We assume they all had heads.
If they don't have heads on them, they're no good to you. What are you
at that
doing?
point, they've already been. These are used cattle.
Right.
They don't have any heads on them.
Better take care of this now, because pretty soon this thing's about to be useless.
Mine came without a head. Is that? Do I get a new one? Should I turn it in?
Head of cattle is a dumb fucking measurement.
That is a head. That is a stupid measurement. You're absolutely right here. But things changed in the area when in the mid-1870s gold was discovered,
of course,
in the Black Hills of Dakota there, which is the whole premise of the show Deadwood.
Right.
If you've watched that, I'm not sure. We've gone over that a few times.
I own it, kind of. I have it. It's in my possession, and I have not watched it.
Still. This
year and a half.
They made a freight road from Cheyenne to Fort Laramie. It's a Cheyenne-Fort Laramie freight road, and they extended them north out to the gold camps. It became the Cheyenne-Deadwood Stage Road.
Great.
That whole deal where people would come in and, be murdered shortly after in Deadwood, I'm sure.
Come in to water a horse, and then they're murdered? Is that basically
that's how
what
it works.
is?
Yeah, that's it, man. This was pretty busy.
Yeah.
They said there's many travelers that came through that are very well known. Your Wild Bill Hickox and your Calamity Janes, on Deadwood when they came through in the first episode.
Okay.
Buffalo Bill, Wyatt Earp, all these people, and a lot of they were kind of. Some of them were playing kind of agents for the people who had gold.
Oh.
Because this was and again, Deadwood, they do this constantly. You'd leave with all this gold to go to the next town. There's all sorts of people on the road to try to take that gold from here to there. It's like, we're not going to let that go by. So you had to have a whole team with you to move gold from place to place.
Okay.
You had to have dudes. That's where riding shotgun came from. The dude with the shotgun up front. You had guys on horses on the side waiting for a tax.
Wells Fargo.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Waiting for a tax and that sort of thing. It's at this point too.
Somebody should make a TV show about that.
I think they have. Yeah, a couple of them actually, in movies and everything else. It's very strange.
It's fascinating.
You never see the Old West on film. It's never been done, Jimmy.
The only cowboy movies I'm watching anymore: Tombstone, where they're toughest cowboys ever, or Brokeback Mountain. It's like there's nothing in between.
You gotta go
for
one
me.
or the other. Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, it's just
or
no
the Cowboy Way,
movies.
which is basically it's way worse.
Either like Clint Eastwood and Deadwood, or Brokeback Mountain.
Or the shit I'm watching.
Yeah, because that's what you're watching more.
The Cowboy Way with fucking Woody Harrelson and
Kiefer Sutherland. I saw that in the movie theater when I was a kid. So
your parents paid good hard money.
I think it was
the
Dollar Theater.
Okay,
it was like a summer Dollar Theater. It's hot. Like, go to that. I guess I'll see that.
They've got air conditioning in there.
Well, and I liked Woody Harrelson because he was on Cheers and he was in White Men Can't Jump.
Right.
So I was like, he's pretty
and
good.
That was a fucking letdown. Huh?
That's the guy from the Lost Boys.
He's about to ruin everything
we can do
for
this.
you.
Shit, it all goes downhill.
What a dumb fucking movie. The only great part of that movie was when the cow sucked on that dude's dick. That was the funniest part.
Every part of a cowboy movie that Jimmy's
when
interested
somebody's
in
dick is in something's mouth
has to do with gay sex. That's the only time he's interested in a movie. If there's some gender-on-gender action
That's
here.
hilarious.
So 1883, a local rancher and judge named Joseph M. Carey, along with some other guys with boring names, they all established the Wyoming Development Company.
Great.
And their whole thing, because this is a dry area, they want to irrigate the area and make it some farmlands and do that sort of thing here.
Okay.
They hope to get a profit from new development because they owned all that. If they can get water here, people will move here. We can sell them land and make money.
So what did
That's
they build?
the goal. They're not building. They're trying to get irrigation in there first.
Okay, so they're getting like an aqueduct in.
They're trying to get canals. They get the bluegrass. They get irrigation to divert water from the Bluegrass Creek, and they have two canals into the system. They have over a 2,400 foot long tunnel.
Jesus,
that takes. So they're for the 1800s. This is pretty goddamn ambitious.
Yeah.
The railway finally reached the area of Wheatland Flats at the time in 1887.
Yeah.
And so that kind of helped a little bit more here. 1894, they started auctioning off the lots in town to make a town. 1915, by then they had a lot of farms going on. They had, in the irrigation area there. Also, the horse, if you've ever seen the Wyoming license plate or the Wyoming college football team logo, that bucking bronco thing.
Yeah. Isn't there a cowboy on it?
I don't think so. I think it's just the horse. The horse's name is Steam. I think he does have a. I think he does have a
cowboy.
Yeah, he has a cowboy on it. The horse's name is Steamboat. The model for that horse comes from this town.
Okay,
so that's another thing there. That's interesting. Yeah,
that's actually fascinating.
Sahara Desert fart fact of the week. Where the logo came from.
I'm impressed with that fact. That's pretty cool.
Now, there's some issues here, and we'll go a little bit long because this is really interesting on the town stuff, because this is wild here. Since 2014, the town of Wheatland water supply, the drinking water, has shown to be contaminated with heavy metal uranium above federal standards.
Oh, my God.
It's not terrific. They have the town of Wheatland offers no explanation as to how contamination occurred. One possible explanation is that the nitrates from the highly concentrated animal waste or agriculture have reached a high enough concentration in the groundwater to break bonds binding uranium to aquifer rock.
What the fuck?
This is crazy. Another would be the use of injection wells within the county. I don't know what that is. But it's been a couple of years since it's happened, since the testing came back bad, and it's still going on. Tap water should not be used by pregnant women, infants, the elderly, or anyone with a compromised immune system.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is right on the town website.
Where the fuck is Aaron Brockovich?
Dude, this is right on the town's website. Come in, enjoy Wheatland. It's wonderful. By the way, don't fucking touch that water with a 10-foot pole.
Drink the water.
The water will burst into flames.
This is northern Mexico. That's what Wyoming is.
Very interesting here.
Wow.
Any more information you want, you can contact the University of Nebraska, who's studying it with also the Environmental Protection Agency, trying to figure out what the shit exactly happened there.
Meanwhile, there's still people living there.
Oh, yeah, plenty. We'll talk about how many.
This is fucking crazy.
The Mayor Fabian, said, quote, "We are not waiting to take action and have already begun taking measures to remedy the situation." That was in 2016 after it had already been bad for 2 years.
Wow.
And it's still bad now. So you've done nothing.
Drink it out of a bottle, I guess? Is that what they're doing?
Bottled water, or boil it, or they say it's only dangerous if you're not I guess if you're a healthy adult, it's okay. But if it's not, it won't kill you.
Yeah.
I don't want to drink it anyway. I'm not going to pound that. I'm going to get some Arrowhead or a Dasani in there.
The elderly, pregnant, or the
compromised
young.
immune systems.
Or
right.
So if you've got HIV, don't be in this town.
Don't be in this town.
You're fucked.
You'll die from the water.
No doubt.
Population of this town, all 3,659 people are fleeing from their water supply. It's a decent amount of people.
4,000 people.
Almost.
Holy shit.
They're not drinking shit, I'll tell you that much.
This is crazy.
Beer, that's the whiskey.
For sure.
Whiskey.
To forget.
It's like the Old West. We ain't got water. We got beer and whiskey. That's all we got. Sarsaparilla, if you're lucky.
Holy fuck.
Median age here, this is an older town. Median age is 45.5.
Okay.
All these middle of nowhere towns... Yeah. You get like a younger skewing town when it's around a city. Maybe it has a college. It's like a suburb or something. Whenever you get these, nothing around here for miles, people flee there as soon as they possibly can. And then they just leave behind the old and the dying.
To deal with the shit water that's going to kill them.
That none of them are allowed to drink.
Right.
That's the thing, because it's a lot of old people.
But you've got to shower at some. You showering in bottled water?
Don't let it get in your mouth.
What the fuck?
Close up your mouth, son.
And your eyes. Don't let it hit your mucous membrane.
No.
You're fucked.
You're in deep
Jesus Christ.
So right away, the town is toxic. That's not terrific. We've started out poorly with the whole thing right now.
This is West Flint, Michigan. This is crazy.
Yeah, and it's I'm telling you, and Wyoming, the most picturesque place. It looks like there's no way anything could be contaminated. That'd be the last thing you'd expect there. Like, oh, no, it is.
It's all beautiful and pristine. Not this place.
No. Median age, 45 and a half, which is about 8 years older than normal here. Right. Way more males than females, but there's a lot of outdoorsy, kind of hard labor type of job.
Shit.
There's some lumberjacking and some things like that going on. So, that sort of thing. Not really lumberjacking. There's not a lot of trees, but there's some outdoor shit. Those canals don't dig themselves. You know how it works. 52%
Sure
male.
Wasn't a woman that dug that half-mile trench for the canal.
God damn it. You imagine if they just got
Just one big ass woman that dug the whole thing.
We only employ women. That's it.
We're very progressive in 1870.
Why?
Right.
Why only women? No men allowed. Only women. This is so strange. So, married population here is high. It's about 56%, which is about 6% over the average here. So obviously the single population's low. A lot of older people too is what you're going to get. It's way less never been married people.
I can't believe there's fucking anybody here. This is
nuts. I don't understand why anyone. I always try to look at what's the attraction to the town. Right. There is nothing to draw you to this place whatsoever.
Uranium. That shit is how they make
not
nuclear
great.
power, right?
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I don't know if that particular.
Sure, right.
I don't know if they're the same thing.
But there's a uranium that they use.
Small town chemistry.
This is fucking crazy.
Small town physics. This is crazy.
Does their shit glow? That's what I want to know.
This is one of those towns where I'm like, the only reason you'd be here is if you were born here and just too dumb to move. That's the only. I hate to say it like that.
Right.
I hate to say it like that. But you're allowed to leave.
I don't.
The railroad came through town. You can get on it and get the fuck out of here. Just take it whichever direction. Eventually, you'll hit somewhere better.
The second you get a notification that there's uranium in the water.
Hey, don't. Why are we here?
Kids can't drink this. We're fucking out of here.
Or
the elderly. Eventually, I'm going to get old.
Yes.
Hopefully, unless I drink this water. Jesus.
So we have less never married people, more divorced people, a lot more older people. This is not a fun place to be single. Only about 3% are single with no children. Okay. It's normally about 10%. Mm-hmm. So this is not. You go out on the town here. Yeah. Not the most fun here to go out and. Also, to be careful, don't get any ice cubes in your drink. Right. Treat it like Mexico. It'll be very dangerous. Race of this town, I'm going to give you. What do you think?
Whiskey? Jesus.
What do you think of the race of this town, Jimmy?
Oh, it's so white.
All Scandinavians. It's half Scandinavian, half Nicaraguan. That's the only people here. No.
Super.
It's pretty white.
Argentinian.
87.31% white. Yeah. Pretty white. Black people. This is the smallest. It's 0.03% black.
What the fuck?
So
that's legitimately one dude.
That is like one family, and they're frightened, and they're not drinking the water.
No,
like these fucking white people are crazy. I'm not touching this water. They're out of their minds.
They probably just moved there from Flint, Michigan recently and haven't gotten the notice
yet.
It's
like, oh, okay, yeah. They're like, this water's nothing compared to that shit.
They just haven't even been told that the shit's also bad.
Yeah.
They're about to move to Salt Lake.
0.0% Asian, obviously. You're going to do that here. 11.23% Hispanic.
Oh, my God.
So that's who's digging the canals right there, I have a feeling. That's
the Hispanic community also is like super into cowboying. So
that
sounds right.
Well, they dress like they are.
Yeah, you're fucking right.
Yeah, so that's,
but they're
like, that.
There's a big, I think I mentioned it before about farriers and such.
They come up and ranch and the whole deal. Yeah, horses especially and that sort of thing,
They're hard fucking working cowboys,
absolutely.
too.
So I think that's probably who's up there.
Probably.
I don't think it's just a bunch of people starting a corner store and settling down. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't think it's like Oakland Mexican guys with like raider tattoos.
It's
not happening.
No. These are the pointy metal tipped cowboy boots with the fringes and the big belt buckle.
The gold thing on the toe.
Yes,
for
that's
sure.
what's going on here. Religion in this town lower than normal.
Okay.
Which usually towns like this usually a little higher on the religious scale, but no God on the range apparently. Not happening. Like we said last week, no God in the coal mines. No God on the range, boys, because it's 37% religious, which is usually about 50-50.
Okay.
It's a little bit lower. 9% Catholic. Surprise. 4% Mormon. That's what you'd expect out there. You'd expect a few more. 0.0% Jewish. 0.0% Muslim. Let's not go crazy here.
Right.
Sure, there's a black family, but let's come on.
If there was a Jew family there, this place would have that clean water in a second because he'd sue the pants off of somebody.
God, somebody would fix this shit.
Yeah,
somebody would fix it.
No doubt.
That would be good. 26.99% Democrats and the voting, and about 70% Republicans. So that's Wyoming for you. I don't think they've gone blue ever.
No.
If there's nobody there and they're kind of independent, we'll say. The economy here, about 5% unemployment, which is about average here. Good recent job growth, actually, which is strange. I assume maybe
people that clean water?
Big spike in the water cleaning sector of what's going on here. Median household income here is about $35,000, which is the average is about 54. So it's a little bit lower as kind of you'd expect. More jobs in like the mining and quarrying and that sort of thing. Oil and gas extraction, it's about 5%. Normally those are less than 1% of the jobs.
Fracking up there.
Fracking up there. That's probably where the job growth comes from. Also, a little more construction than normal, a little more retail because people come through and they're touristy, come through on the highway.
Oh, look, they got horns for sale here.
Oh, look, turquoise.
Look.
Yeah.
Fuck. Turquoise.
Out west, every store must think the only thing people back east are clamoring for is turquoise. They're back east going, how the fuck do we get our hands on turquoise?
And moccasins and a fucking blanket.
I need silver jewelry with turquoise in it now. And I can't get it back here. They don't have it.
Every fucking rest area.
No one has it. Every rest area out here is fucking feathers with turquoise on it. Silver feathers with turquoise. Cost of living here is pretty close to average. It's 96. We say 100 is par or average. It's 96. Some of the things are a little higher, a little lower. Housing is a 78.
Okay.
So that's a little lower than that. Median home cost here is $144,000. Okay. It's almost 186 in the rest of the country. So that's a little bit lower. Hopefully cleaning up the gas or the water lines pays good money for you here.
It's fucking crazy.
It's an interesting thing here. The houses, most of them, about 25% of them are between $100,000 and $150,000.
Okay.
Another 20% between $150,000 and $2,000. So almost half the houses are between $100,000 and $200,000.
Yeah.
Kind of tells you where you're at. And if we've convinced you that Wheatland, Wyoming, and its awesome drinking water is the only place for you to settle down with your family, we have for you the Wheatland, Wyoming Real Estate Report. Okay, the average two-bedroom apartment here goes for about $658.
Yeah.
About $400 less than the average for good reason because it's a dump.
Right.
Two-bedroom, two-bath. 858 square foot house.
Yeah.
Very small house, little starter home. $130,000 you can get that for. Still seems that's a little pricey for that small house here. I got a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,500 square foot house. It's not too shabby here. $184,500.
That's great.
That's not bad. Yeah. That's not bad at all. And also, here's a big one here. You want to stretch out. The house isn't big, but the property, a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,590 square foot house, but 35 acres to stretch out and ranch and try to dig a well and get some better water. I don't know. Figure that out. $275,000 for
That's
that.
Fucking great.
That's a lot of land.
You got no water, but if you got that, you might have some money left over to fly your own in.
That's right. It's going to be quiet up there. 35 acres, nobody bothering you. Fantastic. Things to do.
Yeah.
Nothing is one of them. Just sit and stare off into the wilderness.
Die of uranium poisoning.
Stare off across the range. Die of uranium poisoning. They're very big on the Wheat Lanes bowling alley.
Okay.
Wheat Lanes.
Yeah.
That's
clever.
All of their things to do. It pops up in the top 3.
Yeah.
They love it. Also, Wheatland hosts the annual Platte County Fair and Rodeo.
Oh, boy.
Held the second week of August at the fairgrounds. So get there. It's at the edge of Front Street and Antelope Gap Road. So that's exactly what you'd expect.
Antelope Gap? That's disgusting.
Antelope Gap right there.
Named
that
after antelope vagina?
Yeah,
is that what that is?
Antelope Twat Road right there, everybody. Line them up.
Heading on down to Antelope Puss. Let's go.
All right, then. Crime rate in this town, what we're interested in here.
Somebody calls it Antelope Gash. Absolutely.
They do.
Right?
Yeah, somebody. I would assume somebody. They drank a bunch of water, and their brain isn't... They think that's hilarious. They're like, Antelope Gash, that's funny, right? They're like, gee, did he drink? Did you give Bill water? Fuck! I bought bottled water. Bill, stop. The Brita does nothing. Do you understand? So crime rate in this town, property crime is right about average, slightly below, but just about average here. Violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and assault, the all-stars, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is about half the national average.
Yeah.
So if the water doesn't kill you, you're safe otherwise. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So not a dangerous place as you'd expect. It's a small town in Wyoming. You don't expect, this is going to be excessively dangerous here, And it's really not because Wyoming... And this, I have to say, guys, this is hard here getting into this. Finding cases is usually pretty easy, and especially, some of these states, it's a lot.
Right.
Wyoming, nobody lives there. Nobody. There's like 500,000 people in a state the size of Europe. I mean, think about that. There's nobody fucking there. So they don't kill each other, not only because there's not enough people there to start killing each other, but they're so goddamn far away. Right. You're not mad at anybody enough to kill them.
By the time you get there,
you're like,
sure.
Never mind.
Right.
It's true you've had 3 glasses of water. You forgot why you're there anyway. Like, I don't know what I lost my memory. This is terrible.
Disoriented, thinking it's your own house.
You're dizzy. I know what's happening. So to find Wyoming murders isn't the easiest thing in the world. I mean, they're out there, but they average 11 murders a year.
That's crazy.
11, that's it.
That's crazy.
And some of them are like, not interested. I mean, it's so difficult.
It's like a block in Detroit.
Yeah. I said it's like one episode of The Wire. It's a whole year.
Whole year of Wyoming.
Whole year. It's like one decent month for Omar.
And a couple of those.
That's it.
And a couple of murders in Wyoming are probably just like somebody gave somebody extra morphine because they wanted to be put out of their misery.
Yeah,
That's
something
it.
like that. Or who knows?
Assisted suicide, and nobody talks about it.
Yeah, so you're looking for something interesting, and we found something interesting.
Okay.
We found an interesting one here. Let's talk about a young man. Okay. Not even a young man, an adult man.
Okay.
Let's talk about Everett Conant III.
Conant.
Conant.
Okay.
Conant.
Okay.
Conant. Everett Conant III.
He sounds very, very elegant.
He is not elegant. He lives in a trailer park in a town that you can't drink the water.
You don't get to be a third. Why are they so proud of their fucking legacy?
First of all, and it happened a couple weeks ago when we had the young man in Oregon who was murdered. He was a junior, and we automatically went, here we go. Yeah. In Crime and Sports, our other podcast, an inordinate amount of criminal athletes are either named junior after they're a junior, or they name their kids then after themselves.
For sure, that kid is going to fuck up.
It just happens so much. So whenever we see a junior or the third, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Yeah. It's a thing. So this is the third, and oh boy, by the way, he will name his son the fourth.
Really?
Oh, you bet your ass he'll name his son
Why
the
are
fourth.
they so proud?
This guy is proud. You need this background. His lineage is so important.
Yeah.
Well, how else is he going to take the crown, Jimmy? Think about it. How else is he going to take? How are they going to know what the royal bloodline is if he doesn't have the fourth in his name? When they're trying to figure out who will be, king or queen of the trailer park, they need to know.
King of Wheatland.
Oh, you're the fourth.
Right.
Oh,
that's our man.
Ascended right to the throne.
Sure.
Let's have a coronation.
Come on, Simba.
Come on, Simba. Let's go. They hold him up.
Right.
Oh, what a fucking mess.
But why be so goddamn... You can't even drink the water. You're not succeeding, sir.
He's not. And you look at this guy, too. He does not look like he's succeeding.
No.
He's the type of guy, you see a picture of him and you're like, oh, he just looks tired and sad.
Downtrodden is like...
Downtrodden.
It's on his business card.
He looks like he lives in, I don't know, a crappy town in Wyoming where you can't drink the water. Something like that. That's kind of and he's sad about it.
Fantastic.
And if that isn't all bad enough, by 2011, spring of 2011, he's 36 years old.
Jesus.
Nothing's going well for him.
Yeah.
He's not been able to really lock down a career.
Yeah.
He's not been able to. He has a wife.
Okay.
He has a wife. He has 3 sons.
Okay.
So he's got that. His wife's name is Suzette.
Yeah.
They've been together a while. They have
He's
3
got
sons.
3 sons?
3 sons.
One of them.
Oldest being 18 years old.
Okay.
So the oldest child is the junior,
Right.
the junior's
Super
junior. Yeah. Super ultra mega junior.
Right.
Him and a bunch of the fourths make a Voltron if you put them together. A Voltron of fucking mess. A Voltron of ineptitude and sadness.
And then that's what bothers me about Junior is like, if you have a child, it's your first child, you name him Junior, no more kids for you. No more. You don't get to. Because the other 2 kids or the other kids that you have are going to feel fucking inadequate. They're going to feel like real dickheads.
Or there are cases where they won't name the first kid Junior, then they'll name the other one Junior. Like the wife had a name she wanted to name that first one, picked out since she was 16, so you had to name it that one. And then the next one I'm naming after me.
That's fucked up.
And then the first one's like, why wasn't I Junior? What's going on? Am I really yours? And then you have a whole other issue.
Right.
Where he doesn't
Mom's
think
vote superseded mine.
Next thing you know, he's buying one of those paternity tests at Walgreens and he's swabbing his cheek. It's not great. He's trying to get a sample from his dad while he sleeps in the middle of the night. Maybe I could just get in there while he's sleeping. Ridiculous, man.
Swabbing dad's shower drain and shit.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about one of our sponsors, eHarmony.com.
eHarmony.com.
eHarmony, you guys, are you trying to date? What are you dating online? Is that what you're doing now? You know what
so
you're doing.
tough.
You're dating, you have your apps. You have all your apps out, and you have like 3 different ones, and this one's better for this.
Right.
No, they're not better for what you're looking for, because we know what you're looking for. You're not looking to get to know someone just by looking at their picture.
Right.
That's not what you're about. You want to get to know them a little bit deeper before you get to meet them and before you maybe start a relationship
Wouldn't
with
that
someone.
be nice?
Yeah, who's not a complete stranger, that you just saw a picture of and went, okay, that person's good enough for me. So eHarmony, it's unlike many other dating sites. It really is. eHarmony is built, the whole thing, just to help you find a long-lasting, meaningful relationship. It's not a shallow hookup site. It's not one of these. They've helped over 1 million people find their perfect match. They use years and years of science and data, psychological research to send you the right matches, not just a picture and, oh, they look cool to get drunk with. That's not what this is about. eHarmony brings compatible people together. That's what they do. There's plenty of other hookup sites, but that's not what we are here at eHarmony. Right now, our listeners, Small Town Murder listeners, that's you. Right now, our listeners can get a free month with eHarmony when they sign up for a 3-month subscription. Just enter our code SMALL at checkout. Stop waiting and start your journey to a satisfying, meaningful relationship. It can be fun to play around with online dating apps. We all know that. But when you're ready to fall in love with someone and have a meaningful relationship, there's only one app that's built to bring you real love. eHarmony. Come see how eHarmony can change your life. Go to eHarmony.com and get started right now. Enter our code SMALL at checkout. eHarmony.com, code SMALL.
And now back to the show.
So, but they're having problems, Everett and Suzette, and we're not going to call him Everett. You know what we're going to call him?
What?
Let's call him what everyone else calls him.
Right.
By the way, and I had to bite my tongue for a second because
E3?
you said E cubed, bitch. Right. That's what they call him. No, they do not call him E cubed.
Okay.
They don't call him Everett Conant the Third, which you said sounded very elegant.
Right.
You know what his name is?
What?
Butchie.
What?
They call him Butch.
What the fuck?
So Everett Conant the Third goes by Butch.
That absolutely Butch is short for that.
He had to Wyoming it up a little bit, I feel like. He really did.
He had to tainted Watertown it up. That's
just
what he had to do.
Throw a little to like holy water. Right. He had to flick it on it, a little uranium water on there. You know
Flick that on his name and it magically turned into Butch.
And the problem is his son, Everett the Fourth there, they call him BJ for Butch Jr.
What?
Not this whole thing is a white trash disaster.
Okay.
Right away.
Why did you even bother naming him that if you're just going to make up a stupid fucking...
Butch Jr.
It's so dumb. It's so fucking ridiculous.
Junior? And I feel like they called him Junior, unfortunately, for
this
poor
is
Everett.
the exact caliber of people I expect to stick around a town when they get that paper on their mailbox. It says, by the way, our town water is shit. Don't drink it. They're like,
sure it's fine.
Fuck it.
It's fine. It's all right. Ain't nobody elderly or anything in here. It's all right. I think my immune system's good.
Right.
Fuck it.
Butchie Jr.'s 19. Who cares?
Okay, he'll be fine.
The other two, fuck him.
Fuck him. So, they're having problems, he and Suzette, at this point. And Butch Jr., like I said earlier, he's 18 years old at this point, too. So they've been together a long time. These are all their kids, the 3 of them. So they've been together a long time, and they're having problems. Yeah. Maybe that's because they're in their mid-30s, and they live in a trailer park in Wyoming with town where you can't drink water, like we said, with 3 kids in a trailer. Maybe that's why they're having problems.
One that's
I don't know.
Fucking adult.
Yeah, I feel like maybe their lives didn't turn out the way they planned as teenagers. They were together since they were teenagers. I don't think when they were juniors in high school they sat around dreaming, looking at the stars. Because it's a starry sky up there in Wyoming, and they sat out on the hood of his Ford pickup, leaning up against the windshield, just staring at the stars, and they said, baby, someday
I'm going to get you a single wide.
First of all, I'm going to knock you up good, and we're naming that kid Butchie Jr. First of all, that's happening.
Things first.
And you'll be 18 and not a day older. You're going to have my son.
Right.
You're going to name him after me.
Right.
All right. That's number 1.
And he's a junior in high school when he did this.
Number 2.
Yeah.
We're going to poison the water supply so no one else can drink it. Because I don't want no old people.
He's responsible for the poison.
No old people.
Right.
No babies.
Right.
I don't want any of them in this town.
Except for mine.
I hear it affects the blacks, too, and I don't want them in here. I'm going to give them sickle cell or something, I feel, so I'm going to get them, too. But we're going to poison the water supply. 3, get a trailer.
Yeah.
And 4, stay here till we die. Understand?
Forever.
And break. And they said, that's our life. That's not what happened. So I feel like things didn't work out. Okay. They want a divorce, basically. They're on their way to a divorce, but they live in a Wyoming trailer park, so wanting a divorce and getting a divorce are way different things. They're way different things.
Very much like your hopes and dreams.
Yes.
You have to want in one hand and shit in the other.
Which one fills up first? This is one of those situations where I feel like they'll be broken up for 20 years and never actually legally divorced. They're just like, we're good, divorced enough. Right. Common law divorce. Why not? We have common law marriage. Until one of them wants to marry somebody else, they're not getting divorced. Okay. I feel like that's the way this is going to work here. Now, Butch. Yeah. Butch Sr. here. Yeah. Butchie I. Yeah. I, because he's 3. Yeah. I. Butchie Cubed here is he works briefly around this time for Wyoming Premium Hog Farms.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is not where you want to work. You don't want to work here.
Very much like VIP nails and no VIPs show up there.
Not at all.
I have a feeling a premium hog service is just like it's bragging and it's a bit presumptuous. It's a bit over the top. It's at
You're a little
best,
braggy there, pal, about your pork.
At best, it should be called General Hog Supply.
General, we got hogs.
Right.
Don't worry, they haven't been drinking the water. It's okay.
That's hysterical.
So, yeah, these hogs, I mean, that right there, you can imagine life not being wonderful as a hog farmer.
Smell like pig shit coming home all day.
Maybe that's why Suzette was like, I've had about enough of this relationship. I don't know.
I've had a nose full of this shit. I want you out.
Hopes and dreams. Yeah. But this, up until he works there for a little while in the winter. God, live a winter on the hog farm, too. Outside, it's hot. Yeah. Oof, boy. Also, during the spring, once the spring comes up, he ends up quitting the job, citing problems arranging childcare.
Okay.
Which is strange because his youngest son is 11, and his other kids are 18 and 13.
Up there at 11, you take care of yourself.
Up there at 11, you have your own ranch. Right. That's how it works. You got to get your own ranch or trailer.
You for sure got your own job.
Something, yeah. Right. But the 18-year-old, I assume, could probably watch the other. I feel like that's maybe not. Maybe he just didn't want that job anymore. So he quits. His general manager there, Doug DeRoshi. Yeah. I know a general manager of a Wyoming hog farm. How about that? Doug DeRoshi said about Butch Sr. here, quote, kind of kept to himself. He just mentioned something about he was having difficulties kind of working it out time-wise. This guy sounds like he's from Wyoming. He says, quote, he was, I think, having problems elsewhere. Yeah. I love that. Kind of kept to himself. They don't believe in the first word of sentences.
Right.
Kind of kept to himself. Went down to the store. Just doesn't believe in anything. Cut her head off.
Having troubles.
Kind of having troubles. It's kind of kept to himself.
Right.
So yeah, that's he's not all in at the hog farm. Right. He's not invested. No. His mind's not in hogging. Right. I don't understand it. Well, whose would be, really? Yeah. How could you resist the lore of the hog farm, Jimmy? I don't understand, but apparently, time-wise, couldn't work it out. Yeah. So he leaves. Also, people in town describe Butch Sr. as quiet and nice, they say. He's kind of quiet, kind of nice, kind of a little bit weird. Everyone says that he's, quote, kind of different is kind of the one you get. He's kind of different.
You got a small town of people with tainted-ass water calling you different.
They said, he's quiet and nice, but kind of different.
Kind of different.
This is a formula that we've had many times. Quiet, nice, and kind of different. Right. Sometimes it's just you're just quiet and nice, and you keep to yourself. Right. Sometimes it means you're about to kill people. Right. That's one of the.
I got a feeling they would call us that too,
or be killed
in that town.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, they wouldn't call us quiet and nice. No. Those two.
Like, loud assholes, kind of different. For sure, different.
They're a lot different. They ain't from around here. I don't think that's what they would say. They're not from around here.
But they'd for sure ask you directions.
Yeah, they would 100% ask me directions and make me crazy and fill my heart with malice. That's what would happen here. Suzette Conant. Yeah. Once again, let's look at the stars again, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Lean back. I'm going to lean. You see me. I'm leaning back in my chair right now. I'm looking at the stars. They're pretty.
It's actually the Big Dipper?
I see. Well, I see the fire sprinklers in the studio here on my tiles, but I'm imagining beyond the fire sprinklers, the beauty of the stars of Wyoming. They're up there, and she says, baby, listen here, Butch Sr., even though we haven't had any babies yet. Right. Listen here, Butchie the third, Butch Jr. at this point.
How weird is
daddy
that?
Was Butch.
That you could be a Butch 3 and still be a Butch Sr., right?
You're a Butch Sr. Well, you were probably Butch Sr. till you had your own Butch, and then you're Butch. Now you're Butch Jr. and Senior.
Right.
It's very fucking confusing.
You're Butch Jr., Jr., Senior,
yes,
right?
That's what it is. Yeah.
You're Butch Jr., 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 Senior.
Oh, wow.
That's fucking horrific.
So we're back. So listen here, Butch. Now, what I want to do when I grow up, no, we'll poison the water supply, baby. Don't worry about that. I got that all figured out. I got a cousin getting some supplies off the farm. It's no big deal. We'll burn that down. We'll get the water. No problem. We're going to move into a trailer. Once we have 3 kids and we're really hurting financially, you know what I mean? I want to have a job. Now, this is my, baby, it's my dream. It is my dream. Okay, so don't you put a damper on it. I'm going to work at the A&W restaurant in Wheatland while you work at a hog farm, and we live in a trailer with our 3 kids in a town we can't drink the fucking water.
Is it just the A&W? Or is it an A&W Long John Silver?
This is, I believe, this isn't even a combo deal. This is an A&W restaurant. They probably don't even have a drive-through. You come right in here.
You got to walk right up to that like loose screen that she
slides it open.
And then 3 flies fly off it.
Shit.
Go land on your burger that's cooking.
Now, Suzette, everyone likes Suzette.
Yeah.
Suzette is a nice person, and she'd have to be put up with Butch here for all these years. And he's always in between jobs. He's not a guy who works at the hog farm for 5 years and then gets another job. He's a guy who is a couple times a year looking for work and always in and out of work and that sort of thing. And he can't find anything to catch on to, just never anything to latch on to. A co-worker of Suzette, Beth Horsley, said that, quote, she's the nicest person in the world. She'd never do anything to anybody. So just everyone describes her as that. Everybody.
He's definitely not the guy from like Aaron Brockovich's boyfriend where he'd be like, I just work when I want to and then I quit.
I feel like he's Dennis Duffy from 30 Rock. I feel like that's who he is.
All right.
He's Dennis Duffy from 30 Rock. He's
just a complete turd.
He comes into the A&W and he's like, what's up, dummy? Let me get a hot dog. Let me get a free hot dog.
Says it right to the wife.
What do you need? That's what on the show.
Dummy? Yeah.
He calls Liz Lemon dummy all the time, which is the funniest thing in the world for some reason. Because she gets so mad at him. It's a great. Watch 30 Rock also.
Because she's anything but.
She's brilliant and all that. And he's like, what's up, dummy? And he's the stupidest guy in the world. He's got like a pager business in 2008.
Yeah, it's always a dummy that calls everybly else dummy.
Yeah, that's what's funny about it.
Fuck you, dude.
You're an idiot. So, Jesus Christ.
Anyway.
So in this home, in this trailer, there is 11-year-old Joseph.
Yeah.
There is 13-year-old Charles. Yep. 18-year-old Butch Jr.
You bet.
And also always around, doesn't live there, but always around is Butch Sr.
Yeah.
Butch fucking Everett, dickhead. His brother Nakuma.
What?
Nakuma is his Nacuma.
What the
It's said for pregnant women not to drink the water. Clearly, his mother didn't listen. She named him Nakuma.
Everett the third, and then
Nakuma.
The next brother is Nakuma.
You know what his middle name is? Something exotic, right? Nope, Ronald. Ronald. Just Ronald.
That is
Roland.
fucking
Roland.
fantastic.
I can't even read my own handwriting.
It's Roland.
Roland.
Okay,
Nakuma,
Roland.
Connett. Roland.
Roland was the brother in Great Outdoors, wasn't he?
Roman.
That's
Craig.
Right.
Roman.
Roman Craig. Right.
Roman Craig. I just saw on the way here, I saw a license plate that said 1 Roman, and his was Roman 1.
Oh, amazing.
And I was like, I wonder if that's a Great Outdoors reference.
That's fantastic.
So I had to look at that. It was on the fucking way here. It's really brought that up. A lot of Great Outdoors references and Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, we always hit them.
Yeah, you can tell what movies we saw 7,000 times when we grew up.
But The Great Outdoors is one of the greatest movies ever.
Everybody's
really
seen that. Yeah, my kids love that movie. So anyway, they're all hanging around. Nakuma is 3 years younger than Butch. We're going to call him Roland. Roland is 3 years.
Please no.
Just because
we have to stick with Nakuma.
We're never going to get through the show. Every time I mention Nakuma, I'm going to have to wait for you to have a stroke for 6 minutes.
That's
before.
Fucking ridiculous.
Nakuma Roland.
Okay.
He did nothing to anybody, poor Nakuma here. He's done nothing.
His name just sucks.
You're going to feel worse, too, here in a second here.
All right. So Nakuma's always just hanging around?
He's hanging around. He helps out with the kids sometimes. He hangs around the kids. He's kind of like a playmate for the kids, and he doesn't really watch them, though. He's mentally disabled.
Oh,
Nakuma.
Jesus, what the fuck?
That's why I was letting you go. That's why I said you're going to feel bad here in a second.
That's like the mom naming him Mongo or some shit. She's an asshole.
She's an asshole.
I'm not the asshole. Mom is for naming the kid that's messed up a fucked up name.
I don't think she knew when the naming happened that he was mentally disabled. He's not like a.
That is super fucked up.
It's messed up.
When he's born, when you find out, you change that name. You fucking erase the birth certificate. You start all over.
Hopefully, at least speaks well, because you don't want somebody who speaks like introducing themselves as Nakuma. Be like, he doesn't know what his name is.
Jesus
no one would believe him.
No,
they'd be like, he says his name's Nakuma. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Nick. We'll just call him Nick.
Right.
So old Nakuma here. He's Everett Butch Sr.'s brother. He's a really talented artist, apparently.
Of course.
Like, extremely talented.
Yeah.
That's his... See, we don't really know exactly what Nakuma's problem is, but the kids, Charles and Joseph, 13 and 11, are both... Charles, I think, is the one with an undiagnosed... some sort of problem. Joseph is autistic.
Okay.
And they think the brother also has some form of autism, Nakuma, but they're not sure. They just called him mentally disabled, and he wasn't diagnosed.
Okay.
But he's very good at drawing.
Okay.
A friend of theirs said, quote, he excelled in artwork. He was able to draw in detail anything someone requested of him.
Okay.
So that's what it was.
That's not Downs. You know what I mean?
No,
that's something super.
No, he's a high functioning but disabled.
Okay.
Yeah, we know my son is autistic. Yeah. This story is weird for me because they have my son will be 11 next month.
Yeah.
And they have and his name is Joseph. And
right.
they have an 11-year-old son named Joseph who's autistic in this story.
It's crazy.
So it's really strange for me to see this. Whenever I see and they call him Joey, which we call my son Joey. So it's very it messed me up.
Okay.
So just that whole thing, I was like, that's super weird and creepy. So my name is not Butch. So it's better anyway. So Nakuma likes to walk. He likes to go biking. Yeah. He is working on a post-apocalyptic novel.
Oh, wow.
This guy. So, yeah, he likes to focus his energies on shit, which is good for him. That's good. He's got something to focus on. Yeah. That's what those guys need. They need something to throw all their energies into. And, his is drawing and writing and that sort of thing.
He's creative as fuck.
He's very creative, but nothing else in the world is really that.
Gotcha.
So maybe that's why they don't have him watch the kids. Maybe he's not really, maybe he's not reliable enough to watch kids or that sort of thing. Or he's not reliable enough to be there all the time. He's got a novel to write. Jimmy. Jesus. Joey and Charles here, Joseph and Charles are they're both Special Olympics teammates also.
Amazing.
They're both in the Special Olympics. Their coach, Stephanie Nelson, said they were, quote, they're wonderful teammates. They always cheer each other on, and they enjoy every aspect of the whole thing. And basically, they're just great kids. They loved the Special Olympics. They liked each other. They said they were like cheered all the other kids on. They were cool like that. They're both high functioning also, which is just like my son. It's the same type of thing.
Do you think there's people in the Special Olympics that are like super overly competitive? You know what I mean? Like, there's a coach going, calm down, everybody gets one. Chill out. Right.
There is. There's a guy who's just
like
fucking
spitting on people, tripping on them.
Angry. Fucking he's faking it.
Right.
He's fucking faking it. No, he has normal relationships and everything. No, he's faking.
I want that guy.
Yeah, I would like that guy too. He'd be fun. He's the guy who freaks out at his kid's little league game, then goes to the Special Olympics and calls someone a faker. He's a poser.
Right.
This one's a poser, man. They're known to have a lot of friends. All the brothers have the two older ones, 13 and 18. Yeah. Joseph is still younger, but they say they have a lot of friends. They're well known around town. Everett, the oldest one, Butch Jr., is described as very fun, energetic, always wanting to be in the center of everything. A friend of his who went to high school with Everett, with Butch Jr., described him as an easygoing guy. Yeah. He said, quote, you'd see him outside of school and he'd come up and greet you with a big smile on his face. He was always willing to talk to anyone. Yeah. They're friendly Wyomingians.
Ugh.
I don't know how the hell. Someone's going to say, we're this.
We're the Dubs.
Either way, it's stupid. Whatever you call yourself, it's stupid because it's not.
If your state ends with ing, it doesn't matter what you put on the end.
It's going to be terrible.
Sound dumb.
Yeah, it's going to be dumb. Don't even bother.
Right.
So Joseph, the youngest one, 11, he's quiet, he's shy, but people said that he was willing to try anything. He's willing to do any of the events in the Special Olympics. Anything that someone suggests, as long as he gets to be a part of stuff. Yeah. So he's into stuff. He's a little shy, and that's kind of how my son is too. I don't think he'd be the first to volunteer to do something, but you have to convince him to do it, and then he'll go all in on it and that sort of thing here. But he wanted friends, this Joseph kid, and much like when I hear this, because the way they say, his teacher here says, quote, he seemed to always be a favorite of the teachers because of his desire to cooperate. It was said, however, that if you push Joey too far or too hard, you'd wish you hadn't. That sounds exactly like my son.
They get frustrated because they just want to be good kids.
That's exactly like my son.
Tell the story, would you?
He wants to do everything.
Would you please tell it?
No, but it is. He wants to do everything. And this is what these kids are like. And you got to know this for this. They want to do everything, and they want to please you, and they want you... like everybody else, like any other kid. They want to please you, but they don't exactly know how sometimes to do it. But they'll do anything you ask of them. But the problem is, like with my son, if you push him too far and you try to get him to go outside of his comfort zone too much, then you're going to have a temper tantrum and a meltdown because he's so uncomfortable. And this is something as simple as food. Something as simple as, hey, try a grilled cheese sandwich. I don't want to try a grilled cheese sandwich, but it's cheese. You like bread and you like cheese. Try the grilled cheese sandwich. I don't want to try the grilled cheese sandwich. So after 45 minutes of arguing about a fucking grilled cheese sandwich, I get him to try one the size of your pinky nail. I get him to try a piece that big, and he puts it in his mouth, and he makes a face like I just put water from this town down his throat. Just like, oh, and he spits it out and gags, and I'm like...
You have to be kidding me.
It's a pinky nail size of grilled cheese. It's not like I gave you, something strong or pungent. It's grilled cheese, like that sort of shit. So it's like they're very sensitive in certain ways, and you never know what's going to set them off, and it's very difficult to describe.
It's exhausting.
And you try to you kind of peel away the layers of it over the years, and that's what we've been able to do with him, to where it's getting better and better. And hopefully here, I think that's what's happening with this with young Joey here. So that's the kind of guy he is, but he's very, very sweet. But also, again, just like my son, he acts younger than his age. He's 11, but you see him with 9-year-olds, you're like, he fits perfect with the 9-year-olds. The 11-year-olds, they're all like, I don't know about this kid. He's a little weird. But the 9-year-olds are like, oh, yeah, he's fun. It's true.
And he is. He's so much fun.
Yeah, and Sarah has a 9-year-old niece, and they get along
famously
perfectly. He loves, it's that sort of thing. So kind of deal with like that.
I just found out I play well with 7-year-olds. You do? Because I play well with Joey.
Oh, Joey loves you.
2 years ago when I was hanging out with him playing video games.
You.
He's the best.
Yeah, he loves you.
He's amazing.
He tries, man.
I'm 7.
You're 7. Or 11 and autistic. Either one. We haven't figured it out yet. Let's get Jimmy tested, everybody. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. Test Jimmy.
Where am I on the spectrum?
Where are you? You're somewhere. So Charlie, the 13-year-old, acted more his age. Everybody said he likes playing video games, that sort of thing. He acted his age, but he also, everybody would say he acted like a grown-up when it came to like school stuff. He wanted to be an architect when he was older.
Wow.
That sort of thing. The way his autism had him is like he would take time processing things that people say to him. Like if you said something to him, you couldn't expect an answer in the normal time frame, because they don't have that thing that says, oh no, I'm taking too long, I better say something quick. That we all have that sense.
That's their brain saying, keep going, keep thinking on it.
They don't get that. They don't get that thing off of the other person, that the other person is wanting you to hurry up.
I love it.
They don't get that at all. So they're just sit there.
I want to be that so bad.
Oh, it's a fucking dream. They'll just sit there till they're ready to process it and tell you things.
Can you imagine a job interview? That'd be fucking amazing.
They would offer to you halfway through it probably because they'd be so, man, this guy doesn't give a shit.
Every question you're answering great, but this we've been here for 8.5 hours.
You don't seem to care.
You've answered 4 questions.
You don't even seem uncomfortable when you can't think of an answer. You sat there, you sat back on your windshield, stared at the stars for a while. Dreamt about poisoning a reservoir. I don't know what's going on with you.
We just asked you where you see yourself in 5 years, and before we're going to get to 5 years before you tell us where you're going to be.
That's fucking brilliant. So so Charlie, people would say about him that he seemed like a man in a child's body type of thing, like his personality. They also called him the quote enforcer of fairness of the family. They said that his world was always black and white and knowing what was right or wrong. That's it. So my son is both of these kids in one kid, basically. So I totally get this behavior here. Now, Suzette, Jesus, man, she's making all the money from the A&W.
I mean, all the money.
All the money they have, not all the money. All the money they can acquire. Phrase. Yeah, all the money to pay for their trailer here. So she's making all the money. She's trying hard. I really feel for this Suzette lady because she's got a fuck-off husband who's quitting the hog farm. Yeah. You got 3 kids in a trailer. You better slop those hogs and get it going because shit is dire.
No doubt.
We need to get out of this town, number one. So, she also would spend a lot of time with the kids.
Yeah.
And she's known for being a great mom. Yeah. Everybody knows her as that. The whole neighborhood would say that, during the winter when all the other kids would walk to the bus stop, she would warm her car up and drive the kids to the bus stop and, wait with them and stuff. Her friend Cindy Austin said, quote, "Those boys are her life." So, I mean, that's it right there. She had a different description of Butch Sr. She did not say the boys were his life. Right. She said that he was, quote, "a bitter, moody man who kept to himself."
Okay.
Because he's upset about working at a hog farm in the middle of Wyoming here. He's known, everybody knows him as Butch, like we said here. He was very, very insecure about his inability to hold a job down.
Weird.
Super insecure about it. He wasn't one of these guys that's just like, whatever, I don't have a job, don't care. I'm just going to sit here and sit on the couch. People's court's on. I'm watching. I don't give a shit. That wasn't his style. He would fuck up, lose his job, and then get angry
at everybody else.
I don't have a fucking job. And be mad at Suzette because she's bringing money home.
Right.
I'm the one who should be bringing money home. Well, fucking get out there.
Do it.
No one's keeping you from it, dude.
Just your bosses.
Just your bosses and the people who won't hire you and the people that fire you.
Right.
And your dehydration, everything else. He said, the friend of theirs said, quote, "I think maybe his sense of manhood was challenged."
Well, sure.
That's understandable, but he's reacting in the wrong way. The right way would be to go get a better job or another job or 2 jobs or whatever you have to do to make yourself feel like you're not a piece of garbage.
Right.
Do it.
Instead of going down, knocking on that loose screen and yelling at her and being all rude to her because she makes more. Give
me a hot dog, dummy.
Right. It's not that she makes more money than him. It's just that she makes money at all.
She makes money
he
at
makes
all.
He makes none.
And she holds down a job and everybody looks, and she's a good mom and everybody looks at her as responsible and they look at him as like, that's her 4th kid, Butch. You know what I mean? So I think it's that sort of deal here. This is a very, very interesting one here. This Austin woman here, she said one day, a neighborhood boy that she saw walked past the Conant's house. They keep saying house. It's not a house. Let's not call it a house.
Can we stop calling that a house?
Stop calling it a house. Walks past their trailer when Butch here was out front with his dogs. Got to cram some dogs into the trailer, too. It's not enough that you have your wife and 3 kids and your
they're
brother
giant,
coming
too.
over.
You know they're big dogs.
You know he doesn't have tiny dogs.
There's something
they're
about
huge.
the size of property.
Yes.
The bigger it gets, the smaller the dog gets. You know what I mean? Like Paris Hilton has a dog that fits in a fucking purse.
Has mansions and hotels and everything else. Yeah.
And then you got some asshole that lives in a single wide. He's got fucking 3 Great Danes.
He's got Great
Danes. And they're all vicious as fuck.
Giant and vicious.
The meanest fucking dogs.
Barking at the windows constantly with their spit all over the screen. They got to spit on the screen. And
the screen that's
like
barely hanging off the house, too.
They pop up and then they go back down again. They go back down again. You're like, oh, shit.
It's something very... There's a fucking formula between size of property and size of dog. As the land shrinks, the dog gets bigger. It's fucking ridiculous. No wonder that dog's pissed.
Yeah. Well, what he does... this dog is pissed, apparently. His dog's here because when this poor woman is watching this from across the dirt path. I was going to say road, but no, it's not a house and it's not a road.
Right.
Let's be realistic here. We really got to keep this all straight.
Right.
So apparently the boy walked past Butch here as he was outside with his dog. When the boy passed, apparently she watched Butch let the dogs off the leashes and go attack the boy.
What the fuck?
He's like, let the dogs attack a young boy.
Jesus.
Yeah, the boy,
I guess. Get you sued.
Yeah, I guess the boy got hurt and everything else, and it wasn't, I don't know what, in Wyoming that doesn't get you sued, I don't think. In Wyoming they just go, I don't know. That's all right.
Shouldn't have been walking there.
Shouldn't have been walking. I don't know. Them dogs must have drank the water. I don't know what I have to say. So Austin also, she said, it's funny because she describes in one breath the fact that he let dogs attack a young boy. And then in the next breath, she says, but he also had a sweet side. Okay.
Anybody that lets dogs off a leash to attack a boy has zero sweet side.
Apparently, she was very impressed that he was the one that entered his sons in the Special Olympics.
That's not a sweet side.
Something like that. And also, he would babysit for the neighborhood children, which is not advisable.
No.
If there's a guy who can't hold his his hog job and lives in that's not the babysitter.
And he lets dogs loose on kids. You're
Now,
going to let your kids hang with them?
We bring them over. They can play with the dogs. It's perfect. Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
Oh, man.
This town is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's also, they said that his brother, Roland, Nakuma there, they said he would visit a lot of times just to like calm Everett down, Butch Sr. down, and to chill him out. And he was kind of like a soothing factor for Butch Sr. The Austin lady said, quote, I think he acted as a buffer for the aggravation and the violence.
Okay.
So that's the kind of thing here. Now, July 8th, 2001. This I love this, by the way. They in every article, everything I found on this case, they described the trailer as, quote, a modest mobile home. All you needed to say was mobile home. I get the picture. I get it.
Is there a lavish one? What the fuck are you guys doing?
Ornate mobile home. You didn't have to tell me it was modest. Mobile home will do.
I think when they throw modest in, they're just saying there's only one side.
I think they're saying it's shitty even for a trailer. That's what they're saying. A modest mobile home. They're like, even for a trailer, this thing's a fucking dump. So look out for that.
And it's just it's a single wide. It's not a double wide for sure.
Oh, I'm sure. God, dogs and kids. I hope it's a double wide.
Well, that's why
I pray it's a double wide.
That's why they stayed together, because otherwise she could like hook up and drag half that fucking house away.
That's true. He's like, I can't have that.
But this way, it's only a single wide. There's nothing they can do. She's like, fuck it, I'm stuck with him.
He can see me all the time. I can't. There's no way they can make a getaway. I'm either here or at A&W. So, yeah, they're in their modest mobile home.
Yeah.
It's July 8th, 2011. Like we said, through the spring, he's had
2001
problems.
or 2011?
2011.
Okay.
Through the spring, he's had problems with his hog farming and all that sort of thing. They own this trailer, by the way.
Of course
They're
they
not
do.
renting it.
Dude, it's like $7.
They bought a trailer. I mean, they bought this fucking thing. They own this fucking thing. Also, they've never had... It's like
they
$7.
own this fucking thing.
They own this goddamn trailer.
She traded 2 hot dogs for it. That's what happened.
Trailer.
Right.
This is her. Actually, she traded in. She had a 1997 Geo Metro. She traded in for the trailer.
3-cylinder.
Straight up. No, it was a 4, but one of them blew out. Straight up for the home. For a home.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what happened. Maybe.
All right.
So these. By the way, they've never had any problems as far as violence or domestic violence or anything like that. The police have never been called to the trailer.
Wow.
No record of any. That's not bad for. Just Oklahoma white trash. That's not too shabby that you, or Oklahoma, Wyoming, white,
close enough.
Connected to each other. White trash. Nebraska's connected. I am all fucked up.
It doesn't
tonight.
matter.
It doesn't
it's
matter.
All garbage.
Nebraska connects to it. So all this garbage country here. Police have never been called out here for Everett. Butch Sr. never went off on a bender and smacked his wife around. Or maybe he did, but no, she didn't call the cops on him. So whatever. So that's something. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little more about Harry's Razors.
Harry's.com.
Harry's can easily tie into your New Year's resolution. That's if your New Year's resolution is to be smarter. To be smarter with everything, like money. Harry's can save you about $100 a year if you're a frequent shaver. Harry's products have won countless grooming awards, and they'll keep you looking and feeling terrific. I know you use Harry's on your face. Smooth. How smooth is this, Jim?
The best razor.
So smooth. And everybody out there, not just for guys.
No.
Ladies, my wife Sarah uses it for all of her shaving needs, and she says it's the best razor she's ever used. It's non-gender specific, fantastic razor for anybody who needs to shave anything. Harry's is all about a great shave at a fair price. That's why over 3 million people have switched to Harry's. Harry's has stripped out all the silly, unnecessary features like vibrating handles and heated blades and all that sort of thing. Who needs all the unnecessary costs when you can deliver customers a perfect razor at an amazing price like these folks do? And we have a special offer just for you guys, just for our listeners. Harry's is so confident that you're going to love their blades, they'll give you their trial shave set for free when you sign up at harrys.com/small. Just pay for shipping. Claim your free trial offer from Harry's today. It's a $13 value for free when you sign up. All you have to do is cover shipping. Your free trial set includes a weighted ergonomic razor handle, 5 precision-engineered blades with a lubricating strip and a trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel, and a travel blade cover. To get your free trial set, go to harrys.com/small right now. That's harrys.com/small.
harrys.com/small. And now back to the show.
Out of nowhere, July 8th, 2011, like we said, in the modest mobile home.
4 days after the 4th.
4 days after the 4th, so they're probably still recovering. I'm sure Everett's still
sobering up.
He's dragging like whatever's left in the keg behind him. He's still got it there.
You hear it spinning around inside
like,
there
Jesus.
every step.
Like it's over. He's like, there's still some left.
It's got to be flat by now.
It's not the 5th of July until it's gone. When it's gone, then it's the 5th.
It's not the 5th. Holy shit,
July
that's
10th.
funny.
It doesn't matter. It's still the 4th. It's still the 4th to me. I understand.
That's hysterical.
So, so they own this trailer. They're there. They're sitting in there. Out of nowhere, a neighbor, Jessica Cornder, Kornder, Cornder, Jessica Cornder, Cornder says that she sees... God, the names in this one are...
It's a terrible name.
It is a terrible...
Sounds like an action.
Have we
What
had
did he do? He corned her. What?
He corned her. It was bad. He corned her good, too. It was bad.
Corned her hard.
They're going to bring him up on charges. That's how bad it was. It was bad. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you what. So...
Jesus.
My goodness. So this Jessica Cornder, she's just hanging out. She lives in the same trailer park.
Yeah.
She's hanging out. She says out of nowhere, she sees Suzette Conant run from the trailer.
Oh, boy.
Run from the trailer bleeding.
Okay.
And here's a quote from Jessica Cornder. Shit's about to get real.
Yeah.
Jessica Cornder says that she says, quote, she kept screaming at me that her babies were dead.
Oh,
he
God.
killed my babies.
Oh, Jesus.
I was in the kitchen doing some dishes after supper, and I kept hearing, I heard these 2 pows I thought was fireworks, and then I heard this awful screaming. So
what the fuck?
Shit has gotten crazy.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
She heard a couple of pows. She thought they were lighting off fireworks inside the fucking fifth wheel.
Inside, over here, behind, in the next trailer.
All right.
You're doing dishes. The water's running just here. You don't hear exactly where it's from.
Cornder heard that.
Cornder heard the shots. She heard the pow-pows, and then she said, what the hell is that? She looks outside. Here comes Suzette.
Gotcha.
Fleeing from the trailer. Wounded, obviously, bleeding, yelling, he killed my babies are dead.
Holy shit.
So that is, that's a crazy night at the trailer park. No one's expecting that. This is like 6 o'clock at night.
Fuck.
This is just your evening. Everyone's relaxing. No. So Cornder ran outside, obviously, to see what was going on, and saw Suzette leaning up against a fence post, bleeding from her shoulder and from her foot. So now what ends up happening, Cornder sees her out there. They both try to run.
Yeah.
Cornder doesn't go all the way up to Suzette because I think she's just trying to figure out what's going on. So she tries to run, and Suzette tries to run. As she sees Suzette try to run, she looks in the doorway of the trailer.
Oh no!
The neighbor does to see Butch Sr. in the doorway carrying 2 pistols.
Oh, God.
And she watches them release the clips and let them fall to the ground.
Jesus.
Clips of like 9mm.
Yeah. The
clips
magazines
and
fall.
Reloading them.
Jesus. Who is he?
He's dropping them like he's in a fucking action movie. That's what people in action movies do.
He thinks he's Bruce Willis.
Yeah, they just drop clips and let them fall and then pop a new one in there. That's what he was doing. Like he's, Die Hard over here. Wow, she said she watched him reload the weapons after that, which is fucking nuts. At that point, she said she heard sirens and she saw him go back inside.
Oh, boy.
And he ran back inside because he was going out to go after Suzette.
Yeah.
He was in the doorway like, all right, lock and load here. Let's go track her down. Heard sirens. He ran back in the trailer.
Yeah.
The neighbor said, quote, that's probably what saved her, honest to God.
Jesus.
Yeah, if someone's coming after you and the cops are coming, that's helpful. That's what you want.
Right.
At
you
that
want
point.
those sirens.
Yeah, I would say so. And a Wheatland police officer named Doug Wiggins gets there. Later on, he would write in an affidavit that he encountered Suzette in the street, and he'd been called to reports of screaming and shots fired. That's it. Somebody else called the cops. He shows up, and he gets more than he bargained for here. Suzette had been shot in the leg and the shoulder. Okay. She identified her husband as the shooter.
Wow.
And said that she that her children may have been shot as well. Okay. Is what she said. She was telling the cops too. He shot my kids. He shot my babies. He killed my babies. So a police officer at that point tries to make contact inside the home, and he hears another gunshot from inside the trailer. So he's still shooting. Yeah. So then another officer came in, a sheriff's deputy came in, and they knocked the door down. When they knock the door down, they see they can hear a man talking inside the home, and they saw him holding something black in his hand, according to a court document. I'm going to go out on a limb here. That's probably a gun.
It's probably saying, "Go away. I've got a gun."
Yeah, I've got a gun, and I'd like to be here. The cops are ballsy.
Yeah.
He's got a gun. This lady said he shot my babies.
Yeah.
One lady said I saw him reloading, and he's in there with the gun.
And the cops are seeing him.
They go through.
Wow.
They're going toward him.
That's nuts.
Yeah. They say
they want him alive.
Yeah. They confront him through the doorway. They're like just on the outside, but they're like, "Hey, we know you're in there. God damn it." What they also see at this point, the police look over, because as they have it open, and they're also scoping out the situation. You don't know if there's somebody else. You don't know anything. You got to get an assessment. They said, quote, what they saw, quote, what appeared to be a lifeless body of a male juvenile on the couch surrounded by blood.
Jesus.
So that's not terrific here. So they keep talking to him. Obviously, they're trying to coax him out. They take 10 minutes, and finally, after 10 minutes, he actually comes outside unarmed and gives up.
What?
Puts the gun down, walks out, and gives up.
Why?
I don't know. Why? They said, quote, without incident, it says in the report.
Weird.
He just walked out, all right, like he had a traffic. Oh, shit, I didn't pay that ticket. I better get that cleared up. Like nothing ever happened here. And all the disturbing part about this is because he was satisfied somehow. The neighbors all said, and this is multiple neighbors said the same thing. I mean, I don't know if this is small town trailer park gossip or what, but all the neighbors said the same thing. They said when they pushed him out, when they got him out of the house, they said he had a, quote, grotesque grin on his face.
Wow.
They said he was even still grinning when the police were pushing his face down into the dirt.
Wow.
So I don't know what the fuck he was doing or on, or, I mean, he's not on anything. Right. He's just a lunatic.
Yeah.
They said, quote, one of the neighbors said, quote, it was a permanent grin. He was on the ground with a frozen clown face. I can't, a frozen clown. That's very well descriptive, though.
That is fucking amazing.
That's a great description.
I saw exactly
everyone
what it
out
was.
there saw it. All of you just saw that. She said, quote, I can't take the look of his effing face out of my head ever.
Wow.
But that has to be disturbing.
Yeah.
You just know what
That
he's been
red
doing.
nose.
And he's coming out, that red nose, that makeup, those big shoes, and you're like, oh, fuck, man.
He is proud of what he did.
The sad part is I have more respect for and would rather talk to a man who just tried to shoot his entire family than a fucking actual clown. Than an actual clown. That's right. I have respect. Every person we've covered so far, I have more respect for than anyone who's ever put on clown makeup in the attempt to make money. That's right. If you put it on for your kid to fuck around and be like, hey, I'm a clown, and squirt him in the face with something, hit him with a pie, fine. You're just being a funny dad. If you put this on and said, I'm going to do a birthday party.
This is my job.
$75 an hour. If you did that, I swear to Christ, I hope you get hit by a train tomorrow.
My God,
you
that's
asshole.
So funny.
Fuck. I hate, you know my hatred of clowns, and I'm not scared of clowns.
Right.
That's the other thing. People are like, oh, you scared of clowns? Nope, not scared of them. Hunting them. I'm not scared at all. Bring it, motherfuckers. I'm not saying I'm avoiding them. I'm saying if I see a clown, I'm going to fuck you up. I don't care.
Down.
I am throwing down. I don't give a shit. Don't care. I've done it before. I'll do it again. I have a joke. I fought a clown. It's absolutely true.
Jesus.
I'll fight one again. I don't give a shit. Anybody says it, obviously he's a murderer. Look at him. Don't trust anyone who won't give you their true shoe size. They're full of your makeup and no, fuck you clowns. Hate them.
All right.
So,
Jesus.
moving on. God damn. Don't bring up the word clown. I go crazy. So, more officers come from the Wheatland, the Wheatland Police Department and the Platte County Sheriff's Office. Mm-hmm. They get there. They go through the house.
Yeah.
They find in the house.
Oh boy.
They find all three of the children are dead.
Yeah.
He killed all three of his kids.
Fucking asshole.
All three of them.
Wow.
Which I am. All three. I don't even know
why.
just had to kill everybody.
That's how fucking shitty he feels about himself, that he kills his kids.
That he kills his kids. And that's what you get a lot of the times. But most of the time, that guy then turns the gun on himself when the cops get there.
He parades himself out and has a frozen clown face.
Satisfied with what he did.
While they mush his face into the pavement.
Doesn't give a fuck.
He's fucking smiling.
Thrilled. I did, which is the thing, the one person I would imagine him being mad at, not rightfully, no reason to be, but would be Suzette.
Right.
She's the one who is running down the street.
Right.
And he's satisfied with that, which is, I don't know, man. So also they find the brother, Nakuma Rowland. He's shot and struggling.
Yeah.
They attempt to save his life. They take him to Platte County Memorial Hospital, where he dies later on that evening also.
Sure, it's
of course
exceptional care there.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the best trauma center.
Right.
They're used to dealing with so many fucking combat gunshot wounds. That's what it is. That's it's there's like a trauma center in Baltimore. I'm sure it sees a lot. There's one in Detroit, and then there's the Wheatland
in Chicago, and then
Platte
Wheatland.
County Memorial Hospital is the one right there. Jesus Christ, man. Police officers that were wrapping up the crime scene, they said that at least one handgun, but possibly more, was used in the shootings.
Yeah.
They asked him how many rounds were fired, and he just said, quote, a lot.
Oh, my God.
Just a lot. And when I've seen pictures of the trailer as they're doing the crime scene.
Yeah.
And there's a reporter went there right afterwards and really documented the trailer as they're working it. There is fucking bullet holes everywhere.
Really?
It looks like goddamn Sonny Corleone pulling up to the toll booth in this thing.
And the neighbor goes, I heard a couple of gunshots.
I heard a couple of pows. No, there is so many there's a window in one of the pictures with like 3 bullet holes in it. A fucking window. That's not even with people.
Yeah.
And then there's bullets in all the people. 5 people with bullet holes in them.
Jesus.
And who knows how many shots he missed or whatever. He had 2 guns that he dropped clips out of and put more.
Right.
If that's a 9mm, that is 34 shots he let off, and then he had fucking more to go.
Right.
That's a lot, obviously. I mean, that's 16 in the clip and 1 in the chamber.
Right.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Or 15 in the clip, 1 in the chamber.
I think,
it's
16 and 1.
16 and 1, 15. Right. Whatever the fuck it is. Either
Depends
way,
on what the model is, too.
He
Some
fired
only have 12.
Assload of shots.
That's a lot.
The cops just said a lot. That's a lot. You know what I mean?
At least 4 magazines are emptied.
Yes, that's the thing here. They take Suzette to the hospital.
Yeah.
She survives.
Yeah.
She survives.
Thank Christ.
So they have a witness to this also, which is good for everybody.
Sure.
Now, Suzette tells the police, obviously, they're like, what caused this?
Right. What the fuck would precipitate this shit?
And that's the thing, because if he's not talking and he kills everybody, you never know what happened.
Right.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
So that's the thing where it's nice at least
He's
somebody
just smiling.
knows.
He's just got a psychotic grin.
Yeah.
And no story.
Like, what could it be? So you think it's probably,
I think jealousy. I think he found out some guy named Billy Ray comes down to the A&W
the manager
and hits
down
on
at
her
the
every day.
A&W gave her an extra shift. Sweetened up her paycheck a little. Gave her that Saturday afternoon she's been pining for.
Right. The one that brings in all those $25 tips.
Yeah, no, apparently what she says is he became enraged.
Yeah.
Sure. And decided right there to open fire on the family with 2 guns because he had asked the family to keep the curtains of the trailer closed, and the curtains were open.
No.
And he believed people were watching him.
Wow.
He was paranoid and thought his neighbors were watching him.
I'll give him something to watch.
Wow. So rather than close the curtains again and say, please don't open the curtains, he decides to shoot fucking everybody.
Wow.
Including his children.
My Christ.
Dude. This is the ultimate, like, who left the light on in here? Like,
I've got so many reasons right now to murder my whole family.
I was going to say, my kids are leaving lights on, the doors open, my son's fucking forgets to flush the toilet.
They cost me so much money.
Oh, I can't imagine. Do you ever decide to just grab 2 handguns and just get them in a trailer and
I go in the room
fire?
And contemplate my own existence.
That's right. That's like a good father. Right. That's right. Unreal, man.
What the fuck?
Mayor Gene Dixon of Wheatland,
The mayor's got to comment for this.
Of course he's got to. It's a small town. He's going to have to comment. They're going to, what do you say, Mayor? He says, quote, it's like, how can it happen? This is a small community. We all know each other.
Yeah.
Great comments, pal. That's healing right there. You started the healing process. It's like, how could it happen?
It's like.
We all know each other. I don't get it.
That's the most hillbilly start of a sentence ever.
Jesus.
It's like,
it's not his fault. unfulfilled. He's the mayor, but it's still like you could have had something. It's very sad when members of our community, beloved of, but I could come up right now with a better speech than that.
She made a hell of a cheeseburger. I can't imagine he would do this to her.
Such valued members of our community, well beloved friends and neighbors are in mourning today about this horrible tragedy. And
you're so good at this.
We just pray, everybody, at night, and I know I did last night with my children, that a tragedy like this never befalls this fine town again.
Wheatland, I got a new mayor for
Mayor
you.
Mayor of Wheatland, everybody. Wasn't that more
Mayor
soothing
Pietragallo, you'd be the best mayor ever of any town in Wyoming.
Wasn't that?
Nobody would be able to pronounce
Imagine, no, they'd never.
Mayor P, come here.
Jimmy P for mayor, everybody. Woo!
Mayor P!
He's got things to say.
Holy shit.
I say what I said is better than, it's like, how can it happen?
As you shrug your shoulders.
I'm a dickhead comedian, okay? I should not have more soothing things to say to you than your mayor. I'm an asshole.
James doesn't even pray, and you believed that he just prayed.
Yeah, it sounded sincere, didn't it? There you go. Fuck, man. Jesus Christ.
Unbelievable.
So the police officers, the police officer that's leading the investigation said, quote, "We don't know what the motive is at this point for sure."
Yeah.
Because that's really all they ever find out. Is that curtains. He just snapped. July 9th, the next day, they charged him with 4 counts of first-degree murder. Obviously.
Yeah.
He's also charged with attempted first-degree murder, aggravated battery, and possession of a deadly weapon with unlawful intent for shooting his wife, obviously. Magistrate Scott Cole ordered Butch here to be held with no bond following a quicker arraignment in Platte County. At this point, the next day, Suzette is listed in good condition at Cheyenne Regional Medical Center. They're like, yeah, let's take her to a real high. And even that's probably the trauma center's probably not. Outside of a couple hunting wounds, somebody got trampled by a buffalo or something.
Somebody wasn't wearing an orange vest.
Yeah, exactly. They are Everett Conant here is being held without bail.
Yeah.
That's good here. They're not going to let him out.
Yeah.
If convicted, he could face the death penalty.
Oh yeah.
For this, in court, it wasn't. He didn't have to plea yet, but they just had him in for his initial hearing, and he, I guess, was whispering his answers to the.
What?
Yes. No. Yes. Now he's real mild all of a sudden. Now he can't.
Through a painted-on face.
Yeah, exactly.
Honked his horn.
The judge said, "Wipe that makeup off your face and talk to me like a person." Honk, honk. No, I will not accept that as an answer. Oh, I'd love to be a judge and have that happen. I'd beat them to death with my gavel right there in the courtroom. I'd have the bailiffs beat him up while I sat back and laughed.
Bailiff, execute him, please.
I sat back and smoked a cigarette and laughed maniacally.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was back of the room like De Niro in Cape Fear. Now that's good. They had a preliminary hearing to see if there was enough evidence to merit sending the case up to the next court. I believe so. Seems like a lot of evidence. Yeah. They saw him with a gun. Everyone saw him.
There's a fucking witness.
Yeah. People are in the town, small town. They're blown away by this whole thing. Of
course.
Obviously.
There's 4 of them at least.
It's in the middle of nowhere, too. So it's not like, over in the next town, there's murder all the time.
Right.
This is the middle of nowhere. Everyone's trying to help out. The Special Olympics people are super sad. Those kids were very popular. The team they were on in the Special Olympics, they're trying to raise money for the mother because the mother's got to bury all these people now. I mean, she's got to bury all 3 of her kids, which is crazy. The residents are collecting money, and they're trying to plan a fundraiser to help her with medical bills, because that's the other thing. She's got medical bills now. Not a lot of great insurance coming from the old A&W
I can't
restaurant.
imagine.
No. So what they do, the residents of the town, which is really nice of them, they put together a community barbecue to raise money for funeral expenses and that sort of thing. The kids at the high school, too, are very distraught. Apparently, Everett was very popular at the school here. Apparently, just dozens and dozens of kids gathered outside. They had a candlelight vigil for them the next night. Kids are crying and they're saying, it's horrible. I mean, Jesus Christ. When you're 18 or 17, and I'm sure when you're that age, you have any friends die?
Yes.
It's freaky.
I had a lot.
It's so fucking weird because
I drive by a cemetery every day where 4 of my friends are at. It's fucked up.
It's weird because you don't you're invincible.
Right.
So you're like, what? They don't know how to process it.
It's really bizarre.
Like, anybody could die tomorrow, and I'm like, what do you expect?
Makes sense.
Shit,
right.
yeah, probably had cancer like
16,
everybody else.
When
like,
a kid doesn't show up to school the next day, you're like, he was just here yesterday. That's
fine.
fucking weird.
Yeah, he's all right.
Right.
The police officer here said about the whole thing, quote, "It's pretty horrific. This is an unexplainable tragedy. We have 3 children from 3 separate schools, and this is only the high school that showed up, and it looked like to me maybe 3/4 of the student body was there. So that's good.
Yeah.
So 3/4 of the kids showed up from the high school.
Very weird that they did I get it. You get the fundraising aspect of the barbecue, but it's very bizarre.
A barbecue.
To have a barbecue.
Yeah.
Like a barbecue is a celebration. That's fucked
that's
up.
True.
We've had murder steaks. Now we got murder fucking cheeseburgers.
Murder ribs here. Murder steaks and ribs. Can I get you some murder salad? Right. A little murder salad on the side?
Would you like some 9mm beans with that? What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I
understand.
What do people like? Right. We all like barbecue. All right, but still.
Everybody likes cheeseburgers and hot dogs.
I guess so, man. But
that's just weird.
Terrible, man. Yeah. The teachers were all saying that they had, they were so sad about it. Jeanette Barber, who's a teacher there for 30 years, lifelong teacher, said, quote, "I could do nothing last night but cry. This is not something that you would expect to happen in our community." Yeah. Again, the small town, they're just... they're just
shocked.
They're shocked by it. The teacher also said, quote, "They had lots of friends even though they were challenged." Yeah. So even though they still, people, they liked these kids. They were nice kids. Whatever their difficulties were, they were nice kids that people liked, and they had good spirits. Right. The A&W down there, they set up a collection jar for donations that probably had 80 cents in it by the end of the week.
With a picture of a family on it. And they're like, "Oh, put my change in there. It's 7 cents,
What's that, kid got palsy or something?" And throw it in there. And you're like, what? No, they're all dead.
The kid's fucking dead, sir.
Yeah, he's dead. Oh, that's worse than palsy, I guess. Shit. Maybe I'll give an extra quarter. I thought he was just all funky in the spine, but he's a little different, I guess. Thought he just had some, some spine grooving going on, but no, it was different. So
thought he just couldn't do the Charleston.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
Fucking hell.
Gene Dixon laying back in. He thought about it.
He's had a moment.
It's like, what the hell?
Right.
He got from there.
He should have had autism where he could have fucking sat for a while.
Let it process before he This is his next statement.
Oh boy.
Okay, this is him thinking
Brace
about it.
yourselves.
He said, "It's hard to comment on something that just never occurs around here. How could it happen? This is a small community." That's what he added to it. It's just hard to comment on something. I don't know.
He's been made fun of by everybody in that town. You started your sentence with "it's like"? How do you do that?
You're the mayor. He's like, it's hard to comment. It's almost like there should be someone in charge of the town that would comment on things for the whole town, like a representative of them. Maybe we could all get together and write down somebody's name and put it in a big box and we can pick oh shit, that's me. I'm the fucking mayor. I'm supposed to say things to comfort people. Instead, I said, it's like, how can that happen? I don't know. Shit, whatever. I'm going to go play Call of Duty now. You're the mayor, you dipshit. Jesus Christ.
It's like.
It's like, I don't know.
First 2 words.
Oh, God damn.
Oh, my Christ. A recall. Ask any mayor in this fucking country. Ask him a question. If their first 2 words are "it's like," recall. Now.
Yeah, or, I don't know.
Fucking
now.
Too.
Jesus Christ. So July 11th, a couple days later, prosecutor says he still hasn't decided whether to seek the death penalty, which is understandable here. We said all the counts that he is accused of. My goodness, here. The Platte County attorney Eric Jones says he's not going to comment any further until he decides what to do about the whole death penalty thing here. So
he's going to think it over. He's going to mull over his response.
He's going to mull it over and give a better goddamn response than them. Now, Wyoming executions was actually, they go back to 1871.
You bet
executions. They weren't even a state till 1890. And they were like, it ain't official, but kill that asshole. I don't care what anybody says. They had some interesting shit, too. They had, in their prisons, I found some weird, turn of the century shit.
Oh, I'm sure.
They had a thing in one of their prisons. They had a dungeon in the prison. They had all different sorts of solitary confinement setups that were varyingly, worse as you go down.
Torture as you get in.
Escalatingly worse. And they had, quote, a punishment pole.
Holy fuck.
Where men were handcuffed and whipped with rubber hoses to a pole That sounds awful.
It's like an H.H. Holmes fucking house. This is crazy.
They took everyone who lost their plantations and gave them ideas. And
That's
they're like,
awesome.
how'd you do that? And they're like, well, shit. He ain't black, but I'll give it a go. I'm game. I'm game. Sure. Let me get that rubber hose.
Holy shit.
Fucking ridiculous, man. They had executions, obviously, all different ones. The execution was hanging.
Of course.
From the beginning all the way up until 1933 or 1937 was the first lethal injection.
I would have guessed yesterday.
So, yeah, yesterday. And there was nothing from 33 to 37. I guess the Depression.
Yeah.
You can't afford to kill anyone.
Right.
Bullets are...
Can't buy rope.
Yeah, well, if that rope breaks, we can't get any more, so we're just going to keep it. That's they don't really kill a lot of people in Wyoming, which surprised me because it seems like the place where they'd be like, kill them all, but there's nobody there. With 11 murders a year, that's why they don't kill a lot of people, basically. Right. They switched to lethal gas from hanging in the 30s, like I said. Imagine what the gas was back then.
The water?
Just
dried out water. It's like, put the water in a cup.
Just put it in the room. Close the door.
Water dust.
Jesus Christ. Can you imagine, though? They did nothing right back then when it comes.
Fuck.
They just backed a Model T up to the cell and fucking let it go.
Let it run.
They had one lethal injection, and that was in 1992.
Yeah.
And before all this happened, too, that was the last execution in the state. From 92 to 2011, there was no executions. Nothing.
And then this asshole does what he does.
Yes. Well, this is because of the drugs. They have a hard time. So what they did is the legislative committee asked, they drafted a bill that would allow them to be executed by firing squad.
Okay.
They're like, all right, we can't get the drugs. Yeah. That's fine. We can't get the shit for the gas. They took their gas chamber down too. They have it's in their thing. It's lethal injection first, then gas chamber. They got rid of the gas chamber.
They demolished it.
So now they have no gas chamber. Right. So they're like, shit. Okay, what are we going to do?
They brought in a fucking a contractor to tear all that shit down.
They're like, we need it now.
We need them to build that shit again.
Yeah, tore it down back in the day. So now they're like, well, we can't. We don't have the gas. We don't have the drugs.
Yeah.
We got bullets. Goddamn it. Let's make it firing squad.
I'm shocked they don't have like TNT or something.
Just sit him in a chair
and strap that shit.
Like fucking What About Bob, basically.
Richard, or like a fucking woman on a railroad track with all
the wires and some guy ready to push down on the thing. I'm gonna get her. See. Smiling maniacally after he comes out of a trailer with clown makeup on. I can see him. What do you think the mayor would say about that?
It's like
trains, you know? Who would have thunk it?
It's like we got all this laying around. They said we can't use the drugs, so we're going to use this.
We use trains instead. I don't know. Oh, my goodness.
Anyway.
So, yeah, they're trying. The courts, that's all going through the legislature at this time. They're trying to figure out how to kill people. We need to kill people. How do we do it here?
Right.
July 12th, 2011.
Yeah.
Lawyers for
4
Bush
days later.
Senior here. Yeah, this is 2 days after what we were just talking about.
Right.
Or no, the next day, because it was the 8th, the 9th, 4 days after the killings.
Right.
Yes, sorry. So this is just 4 days after the killings. The lawyers for Everett, Bush Senior here, asked the court to suspend proceedings against their client so their client can get a mental evaluation.
Okay.
Which... honestly, he probably needs, but still, let's move this along.
Because he's still smiling like Jack Nicholson in the fucking original Batman.
Yeah,
he just can't get it off his face.
Just, still happy. So the judge says okay, and the prosecutor says okay. We're canceling the next hearing for this. Because Wyoming law specifies that you can suspend a case for this if the accused person, quote, has mental illness or deficiency making him unfit to proceed. All further proceedings shall be suspended. Okay. So that's what they're saying. Let's find out if he's nuts here. Right. July 15th, 2011 is funerals for everybody. Suzette attends the funerals of her 3 sons from her wheelchair.
Oh, my God.
How sad is that? That is just,
so it's 11
terrible.
days later, and they waited.
Shit, it's a week later.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking from the 4th. It's from the 8th. Right.
It's a week.
A week later, she's out of the hospital in a wheelchair. They waited a week because she was still in the trauma center.
Yeah, she needed to get out and be able to wheel herself up there. Can you imagine? Is there a sadder, how do you walk up to that person? Not only are you shot up in your wheelchair, but your kids are dead. Your husband, you don't even, how do you even say you're sorry? I don't even know
what's the condolence letter? There isn't one. So think the mayor better not have shown up.
No,
to that.
God, Jesus. Mayor showed up.
He stumbles up to her.
He's like, this is just, they're kids.
Right.
You know, they're kids. And it's crazy.
It's crazy.
And she's like, did we ask him to do the eulogy? Because I think we should reconsider. I don't think he should do the eulogy.
Nobody asked him. He just showed up.
He just showed up and started talking.
He walked up and said, it's like I gotta apologize, you guys. It's like I gotta apologize.
It's like
I don't know how. It's like...
I figure he does a lot of those. Whoosh. Sheesh. Sheesh, I don't know.
We raised all this money and all we got her was a wheelchair. It's like...
yeah, it's like...
wow.
So over the course of the month, he is in state mental hospital repeatedly. Yeah. They keep putting him in the hospital. Court documents show that officials were forced to feed him intravenously because he tried to starve himself.
Yeah.
Mentally, he's not in a good place at all here. Hospital psychologist, Ronna Dillinger, told the court in August, the next month, that he'd been locked in seclusion to be kept on suicide watch because he was trying to kill himself any way he could, including by starving himself.
This is crazy. Why is he doing that now?
When he had 2 guns in his hand.
Yeah.
2 guns. He could have ended that shit and made everyone fucking real happy, at least. November 2011, they have a hearing, and the police come in and they testify to what Suzette told them. Sure. That he shot the whole family, they opened fire about the curtains here. Right. Now, in 2011, his legal team, Butch's legal team, says that they're not going to contest that he's competent to stand trial. Okay. But then they immediately keep doing that. The next month, his public defender Rod Oldham files a request to prohibit the state from keeping Everett alive through IV feedings. They're like, if he wants to starve himself, you should be able to starve himself.
Really?
And he says, this is what Oldham says. His attorney says, quote, that Oldham stated that Conant had, quote, turned his life over to Jesus.
What the fuck?
Turned his life over to Jesus and has decided to stop eating and drinking because of words from the book of John. Quote, he that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth in me shall never thirst.
Okay. Don't take anything in the Bible literally.
First of all, no. Second of all, I think while he's giving you a drink, dude might be like, hey, didn't you hear the guy that killed your 3 fucking kids, asshole? Maybe that would come up, I think, if you were dealing with a biblical type of thing, possibly. That might be. Oldham argues that Conant has a religious right to stop eating and die.
Okay.
But the judge ruled that the state has an overriding interest in keeping him alive and bringing him to trial because he's their property at that point. And
it's called justice.
Yes, these people, he doesn't get to then die in his own martyr fucking way at that point. February of 2012, he enters a plea of not guilty and a plea of not guilty by reason of mental illness.
Okay.
By the way, death penalty still on the table here.
Good.
Still on the table. September 2012, the judge seals court filings regarding his mental health, which sucks because I'd really like to get my hands on those.
Oh, my God, I want to know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. A lot of shit is redacted. There's only things that say when filings were made and dates they were made, but the actual itemized...
That bums me out so much that's none of our business.
I know. I want to know all about this asshole. Trust me. It is. It's my business.
Fuck your business. It's our business.
And you know what, everyone out there? It's your business.
You're damn
That's
right.
It really isn't. But still, we want it to be our business. Trial's supposed to proceed in February, on February 4th. February 4th, 2013 comes around. Trial doesn't happen.
Why?
It doesn't happen. It comes and goes with no public notice on why it wasn't held.
What the fuck?
They never announced, like, hey, this happened, so we didn't have the trial. Just doesn't happen ever.
What
There's nothing filed. It's fucking Wyoming.
Mayor, we need a chat.
It's the court. It's like there was a toilet and it overflowed and it took a while, and we'll have more court.
What?
Thank you.
The fuck?
Re-election, Gene Dixon, 2017. Whew. So, March 15th, he is undergoing extensive mental health evaluations as they try to determine if he can be ruled competent, obviously. This is the time on March 15th that the judge grants a request from the state hospital. The state hospital requests that they get to be allowed to keep him for 90 more days to evaluate him. Hospital.
You guys have had him for how long?
Yeah, they're like, he's so nuts, we still don't fucking know what's wrong with him. We're going to need him for another 3 months if that's possible here. And he goes back in to be more evaluated here. The defense asked that the Judge Brooks suppress a statement Conant gave to the police afterwards. And this is important. I waited on purpose to say this here so it wouldn't get mixed in with the other stuff. When they brought him in, Conant told the police, quote, "I need a lawyer and a psychiatrist."
Okay.
Which you're not ordering, "I need a steak and a beer."
Right.
You can order a lawyer. The psychiatrist, this isn't like...
Yes, I'll have a lawyer and a psychiatrist,
said,
please.
"I need a lawyer and a psychiatrist," stat, like he was a doctor calling for some...
He's ordering a beer and a shot.
That's what it was, yeah. You got a doctor and a psychiatrist,
Right.
East Coast school,
Yeah, Batman and Robin, please.
You got anybody from one of the Seven Sisters, maybe, if they did undergraduate work there, and then maybe they went on to grad work? I don't know. Like a Vassar gal, maybe? Somebody I could talk to. Yeah, it works. They said that the police questioned him without a lawyer and didn't advise him of his Miranda rights for more than 50 minutes, which is awful. Yeah. They should have immediately... Obviously, you're a suspect in this, and you should immediately Mirandize
Did they just assume that he knew?
I don't know if they're not used to this.
Right.
This is what I mean about small towns.
What the fuck?
You're not used to going to a scene with a bunch of bodies and an active shooter.
Right.
You might forget some shit because you're not used to this.
Right.
This isn't part of your... I don't know what kind of training the Wheatland... police department does, if they do, combat scenario training.
If the mayor's running the police
who
academy.
knows? Yeah, the mayor's probably like, they know they're under arrest. You don't need...
I mean, you walk in there's 4 bodies. It's like they know.
It's like they know we're there for them.
There's 4 bodies. There's a lady wounded. He's got guns.
We've all seen Law and Order. He knows what his rights are.
He knows Ice Cube would be like,
yeah,
you did this, right?
You diddled that little girl, and now you're going to pay, and you got the right to remain silent. I would know that. Jesus Christ here. Multiple reporters, too, comment on exactly how fucking lax the record keeping is in Wyoming, how lax the one guy, I put this quote in here on purpose, quote, "The sketchy nature of the public court records make it difficult to track Conant's progress through the legal system."
The last thing you want your
sketchy
court
records
described as is fucking sketchy.
The guy in charge of all of this is a guy that starts sentences with, it's like, what do you expect? What do you think? He's directing these people to keep records? Well, he's
in
like,
the hell
it's
is
like
going on?
You get records and you just put them in a drawer, and then whatever. Like, no. Jesus Christ here.
My Christ.
So June 2013, Conant pleads now. Okay. He pleads no contest to 4 counts of first-degree murder.
In exchange for?
This is after he's finally deemed to be competent to stand trial. Also pleaded no contest to 1 count of attempted first-degree murder on his wife, who was shot and wounded. They didn't give him a break on any of the charges, but the next day, prosecutors announced that they decide not to seek the death penalty, which that was the rub right there.
There's the sticking
They
point.
said, we'll give you nothing.
Right.
You're going to get shit.
Right.
But we won't kill
take
you.
this off.
That's it. So November 12th, 2013 is sentencing. Prosecutor Eric Jones reads a statement from Suzette, which, oh boy, can you imagine that shit, man? She is now Suzette Hagen.
Yeah.
She has gotten a divorce from him, finally. She quoted a Bible passage in it, which is pretty damning shit.
Hagen?
Hagen.
H-A-I-G-A-N?
H-A-G-A-N, like Tom Hagen, like Godfather. So
I was just wondering because my aunt is a Hagen, and I was like, "Is this related to my fucking family?"
Let's find out.
Okay.
She has a statement from some Old Testament shit.
Yeah.
So that's getting some raw dog on that ass. She said, "Quote, but anyone who's
you want to claim the Bible? I'll read you a passage.
I'll read you a passage. Let's do it.
Let me jog your memory. See if you read this far.
We're going pre-Jesus though.
Right. The
Jesus,
Old Testament.
Yeah, Jesus is a pussy. We're going back. His fucking dad. We'll lock that shit down. You know."
All right, go on.
That shit got weak through the gene pool. So she says, quote, but anyone who strikes another with an iron object and death ensues as a murderer, and murderer shall be put to death. That's her statement that she has read there. Then she has a question.
I love these.
It's very simple, and it's the question everybody wants to know. She looked at him in court and said, "What the hell did we do to you?"
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What the fuck did you do this for?
Right.
Why are we all? What did you?
Why are they all
reason.
dead and I've got fucking nerve damage? Likely.
No one did this for this. Now his lawyers say they're not just asking for him to be forgiven. They're not stupid. They said, "quote He's got to pay for these crimes," but they didn't understand. They said everyone doesn't understand how the mental illness that everyone agrees that he has shouldn't mitigate a sentence. They're like that should be. There should be some mitigation.
Who
there with
agrees
the fact
that he's got,
crazy?
Who agrees?
We do.
Do you?
Not me. Not
okay.
we. Me and the other lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm the lawyer, and then this other lawyer.
Right.
We agree together as both people working in the same thing.
Right. We're a people, so
we're a people.
Use we.
We. So they're really wanting to know why is the whole thing. They're the prosecutor's judge is asking the judge to give him the maximum, which is 5 consecutive sentences of life without parole.
I like that.
He says no mental illness justifies taking the life of someone else, especially not your 3 kids and wiping out your whole house. Now, they said that his lawyers, we over here, Team We, said that he suffered from profound mental illness at the time of the killing, and he deserved punishment. They urged that you just give him a single life sentence with a chance for eventual parole.
Yeah,
so we got to have this guy out on the streets.
Sure.
His lawyer said, "quote This case is tragic in so many ways. Saying Conant killed 4 people he loved, saying just how he came to do it. He said, quote He did it, Your Honor, because he suffers from a severe mental illness." Great.
What is it?
We'll take the first half of that sentence, the rest of it, fuck it, because he killed 3 fucking kids that are all his. They said that he had been mentally ill leading up to the shootings, and that he failed to get help through the Wyoming's mental health systems, and he had attempted suicide a few months before the shootings, and there was that. He's just having a real tough go of it. I feel bad for him, don't you? I feel so I'm so sad for him right now. They said that people could see the signs of his mental illness. Everyone could see it. Nobody did anything. The lawyer said, quote I don't know if our society is equipped to see them.
What the fuck?
How about this? They're equipped to see people getting shot and running out of trailers and shit. They're equipped to see that. I don't know if they're equipped to see it either, but for fuck's sake. The results.
That's just a ridiculous statement.
Well, that's the truth, but we're past that now. There's people
Is it necessarily the truth, though? I mean, I'm equipped to look at somebody and go, that guy's going to fucking hurt people.
Yes, but is our society equipped to do anything about it?
Okay, well, maybe not.
Someone's crazy, you can hold them for a couple days, and then what? You got to release them out in the street. The society is not. We're bad with mental illness. We're terrible with it.
We're bad at it because we just want people. We don't want to be sued for taking away somebody's rights and forcing them to be treated.
And people still are at the case where they're like, I can just I'll overcome that.
Right.
It's like no. Mental illness is a real illness, and
crazy is crazy.
It's real,
right?
And it actually is happening in your head. There's sometimes chemicals, sometimes whatever things going on that make the shit real. It's not just like, well, just think happy thoughts and you'll be fine. That's what people think, though.
Right.
People who are completely healthy, just think like, just fucking power through it, man.
Healthy people say shit like suicide is selfish. You're a fucking idiot.
You wake up at 6 a.m., you don't want to go to work, you get out and you plug through it. Like, that's what they think it's like that. Just get up and go get in the shower. You'll be fine. It's like, no, you don't get it. So I understand that, but once they've gone to the point of killing their entire family, kind of a moot point at that point.
You can definitely pick them out that are doing. If you're close to somebody and you see that they've got some mental health behavior issues, you can point it out. But the only person that can do anything about it is themselves.
That's it. They have to recognize it. Now they said that he was mentally ill when he opened fire. But that now...
Oh, now he's good now?
He's good now. It's a crime and sports thing. I'm good now. He's good now. They said he's a different man following treatment at the state hospital. Yeah. He's been in there a couple months. He's feeling good. He's ready to get back out on the street.
Maybe he should have called that state hospital when he saw the window open.
Yeah, well, he wants to see if that his position at the hog farm is still available. He wants to get back into society here. Right. He's been getting ready for sentencing. He's wearing a black sweatshirt, and they have he's chained up and everything like that.
Yeah.
Judge asked him, would you like to say anything?
Yeah.
Here's some advice for everybody out there that I'll give to you. If you're ever in a position, I sure hope you're not. But if you're in a position where you're about to be sentenced for something and the judge says you have anything to say for yourself, you say something.
Oh, you say so much remorseful shit.
You say you're sorry.
Yeah.
You say, fuck, don't blame anybody else.
No.
Take all responsibility. Say you're a piece of shit. Right. It will be better for you. Yeah. Trust me. He says, no thanks. I'm good. Don't need to say shit when you're about to sentence me for a horrific murder that I'm sure you're angry at. And you probably tell your wife about over dinner.
It would have been better if he would have started that sentence with "it's like." Then maybe the judge would have been like, "Oh, he's clearly talking with the mayor. He knows good people."
Are you running next year? Are you? Because his term is up. I think you'd be good.
It's like I got nothing.
The judge denies the single life sentence thing that they requested, and the judge instead, Judge Brooks here says, quote, "In the final analysis, there are very few crimes that even approach the mass execution of one's own family."
Wow.
He said that he is a danger to himself and society and would be even worse if he was ever released from prison. You, sir, may fuck off. 5 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole.
Wow.
Sorry, 4 without the possibility of parole. The 5th for the attempted shit. Yeah. Maybe he'll get out on that 600 years from now, but I fucking doubt it. Brooks, the judge, said that each victim deserved to be recognized by a separate sentence. Everyone should get a life sentence for you.
That judge is awesome.
That judge is, he didn't take any shit.
Say that sentence again. In the end, what did he say?
He said, in the final analysis, there are very few crimes that even approach the mass execution of one's own family. And that's not even the mayor right there.
I have
guys.
such a big smile on my face. That is so great.
You have had a smile like him. It really is, man. So no parole.
Yeah.
After court, the prosecutor obviously said that she believes that he believes that sentencing was good for the town and the county, and as well as Suzette. He said, quote, "This affected many generations and many people. It's a very difficult thing to comprehend, especially when you're dealing with children, siblings, and family."
Right.
The town, really never. They're still talking about it there. Yeah. It's crazy. They didn't put burial information for any of the kids on there, but they're all on the find a grave. And it's just sad, man. It's really sad to hear. So Charles,
they're still talking about this, but I bet they don't talk about that water.
No, they're keeping that they're sweeping that under the rug. But Everett, Charles,
it comes up every time somebody goes, "What are we going to do about this water? Remember those kids that were shot?
Oh shit,
remember
never
that
mind.
Shit?
Yeah, oh damn, the water's fine." Maybe that's what happened to the guy. He was drinking the water,
right?
Went a little loopy.
Something
that's possible
for sure.
So Everett, Charles, and Joseph, and Nakuma there.
Poor Nakuma.
I feel bad for all these people, and nobody deserved this, obviously. Yeah. So that's the story.
Yeah.
That is a crazy story there. Wyoming covered.
Yeah.
Wyoming,
is that a verb, by the way? Because I would say there's no other state ends in ing.
No, probably
no
not.
other state. Right?
Oming. Yeah, if you're.
Is it? Are they Wyomers? Is that what they are?
Maybe
they're
Wyomers.
up there just Wyoming. They're doing some Wyoming.
There the whole time going through all the states.
I'm trying.
Any of them
I was like, are there any others?
No, I don't think so.
Nothing.
So that is the show. We're going to get to a couple of quick things, like we said, a couple of quick awards and that sort of thing, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up. But if you like that show, please get on iTunes, give us 5 stars.
Please.
Very important. It helps on the business end so much. Doesn't matter what you say. It's the 5 stars that count immensely for us. If you want to be an awesome person and one of our heroes that we're going to also talk about in a couple minutes, you can go to patreon.com/crimeinsports and you can make a donation. Or you can go over to PayPal. You can make a one-time donation using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. And we cannot tell you how much every dollar, every cent,
every fucking word that you send in the message,
it's so appreciated. Thank you, guys.
It all goes right to our hearts, so thank you.
Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we really, really appreciate that. Yeah. Also, if you want to get some merch, get a T-shirt, get something with something on it, you can do that over at crimeinsports.threadless.com. You can do that over there. Remember, February 16th in Detroit with Dan Cummins. February 18th in Boston, 1 p.m. Small Town Murder, 4 p.m. Crime and Sports, and March 25th at Stand Up Live in Phoenix, Arizona. Get your tickets now.
Yeah. Ticket links in the description.
In the show description, as always. Let's do just a couple. We're just going to do 2. We like on Crime and Sports to do a year-long...
Scummies.
Scummies, we call them. That's our award show for scumbags, and we give out awards for assholes. We give out asshole awards. This show, we're just going to do a couple. Yeah. Maybe next year we'll do a long one. But this year, just keep it. We wanted a worst town. Yeah. Let's give an award for. We'll call it, this is the Deathies. We're giving the Deathies out. This is the worst town that we've come up with here. Our contenders for this.
Yeah.
Just from a personal standpoint, too, a couple of them are, because you never know. Number 1, Santa Claus, Georgia.
Yes.
Christmas-themed nightmare.
Shit town.
An absolute Christmas-themed fucking nightmare. It seemed terrible. I did not care for it at all. I did not like it. Number 2, Hawkins, Texas.
Yeah.
That sounded like a nightmare, too.
Awful.
It sounded dusty, and maybe it was because it took place in the 80s.
Right.
And it just seemed it just seemed really like
Unclean.
Footloose Town and weird. I did not like it at all. The story there, too, was bad.
That was brutal.
And 3rd, Baraboo, Wisconsin, the town of the circus.
What a fuck town.
It's the circus town.
Unbelievable
Winner,
fuck town.
Baraboo, Wisconsin.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt in my mind. Any town built around the love of clowns can fuck off, as we've talked about earlier. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Also, we just want to say, people always ask us, what's the thing that got you?
Yeah.
That's the thing. They always ask, what's the worst thing that you've heard?
Sure.
What's the thing that got you? Jimmy, I'll let you go first, but I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah, it's definitely Baraboo. Baraboo is fucking horrific. We had to stop recording so that I could throw up.
That was bad.
That's
that
the
was the
worst
leg breaker
one.
episode.
Yeah.
That was
and the other
leg-breaking.
one that really fucking affected me just because of my life and how I grew up was at South Lake Tahoe. That one was
that's my number 2
horrible.
right there.
Really?
Herb Coddington.
Horrible.
Herb Coddington, South Lake Tahoe is a 2-parter. I think it's episodes 11 and 12.
Yeah.
That was those. Woo, man!
What a fucking terrible thing.
That was so scary because all the other ones, a lot of these are kind of either impulse or like they thought about it earlier in the day and then they said, "Oh, later on, I'm going to kill these people" or something like that.
This son
guy
of a bitch
planned it.
Holy fuck.
He got a car with dealer plates and he got a thing and put out an ad and planned.
And he'd been doing it his whole life.
Oh, he was calling agencies trying to get these. It was
gross.
Wow. And he built a room.
Yeah.
He built a fucking torture room. Like,
so fucked up.
This dude put effort
through his
into
voice
this
and shit. Changed his voice to a teenage boy. Shit is crazy.
Shit is insane. Listen to that episode. That's a bad one for me. And I'm going to go with Raymond Mata.
Yeah, that's pretty tough too.
He cut a toddler's head off and then ground the meat up, fed him to his dog. Had a tinfoil package of toddler meat in his refrigerator.
Unbelievable.
And clogged the toilet trying
to
get
rid of it.
Meat down it.
And then claimed he didn't do it.
And then he was like, what are you talking about? There's blood on everything, a head in your room, your fingerprint on the meat. And he's like, nope, not me. Wasn't me. Okay, buddy. So
they found a fucking head.
There's a head in your room. It was above his bed in the ceiling tiles, wrapped nicely, too. Wow. So that is kind of our thing, year one.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks, so much, by the way, for being here for a whole year.
Truly.
Last week was 52nd episode. Yeah. This is going to come out. We released our number 1 episode on January 18th of last year.
Gotcha.
So it's going to come out. That's the same week.
Gotcha.
And we love doing the show.
Yeah.
And you guys have made it possible by listening, making it worth it to do the show. Because if nobody listened, obviously we're going to quit at that point. Because what are we doing?
Goodbye.
Ourselves. We want you guys to enjoy it. We want to have an audience for it. And you guys make that possible. And there's some people out there, Jimmy, that make everything possible.
Yeah.
They make the sun coming up in the morning possible
real.
with their amazing donations. I feel like you might have a list of people.
I have a ton of people.
So let's get to that list right now.
All right. First, our executive producers this week are Sarah Gilbo, Jess Landgren, and Chrissy Ann Castaldi.
Again, God,
those
you
two,
guys are great.
Fantastic. And Sarah Gilbo, thank you so much she sent me like a message to tell me how much she loves us. And it so much thanks. I can't express enough.
You guys.
Thank you.
And thank you, Jessica, by the way, that we know everything that happened with your grandfather and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And, sorry about that, obviously. But it's amazing that he wanted to hang out with us at that time. And we're blown away by that. And we love you. Thanks a lot, Jessica. Appreciate it. Hope you feel better.
Taryn Reinig, Sarah oh, Christ. I was on a roll there for a second.
What,
we were
2
doing
names?
Great. We gave so much love, and then I stumbled.
You
Sarah,
piss it away.
Diaz and Dino, that's it. Julie Roth, James Cook, Deborah O'Toole, Thomas Cox, Ashley View. Fuck,
I saw that one and knew that you were going to struggle with that. That X is going to trip him.
Stacey Huffaker is around every week. Thank you so much, Stacey.
I'm still trying to figure out that number. I will figure it out.
There's got to be some sort of path.
Because she's doubled it, and
right.
it's multiples of a certain thing. And
something's going on.
I have done. You have no idea. I have tried.
Give it to Joey. He'll fucking crack the code.
My son
in a minute.
actually will crack that code.
He'll find the fucking.
He will. Yeah.
He'll find the fucking Zodiac.
It's true. I tried harder than they tried with the Zodiac to crack this code. I sat there for like an hour and a half one night.
Unbelievable.
So thank you.
Hannah Taylor, Genevieve Cipriano. I can get that one. How about that?
Hey,
That's
Cipriano,
impressive.
Paisan.
Caston Johnson. He's around a lot, too. Thanks, Caston. I appreciate it. Timothy Childers, or Childers? It's Childers, right? It is.
Probably.
Lisa Rushing, Tyler Bergert, and his better half, Morgan Decker. Thank you both very much. Bergert.
That's
a tough. Yeah, it's
okay. I
don't want to have that last name.
I
Bergert.
want Bergert.
That's kind of. It's kind of awful.
I'm sorry, Burger.
I'm sorry.
That's rough, man.
Tyler.
You can just drop the T and be Burger.
Yeah, do that.
I'd be Tyler Burger.
Fuck yeah. Tyler's a cool name. That's a cowboy name.
Yeah.
Alex Marchi. I almost called her Marija. It's Mariah. I know her name. Look at it. Marije. That's what the fuck?
She's awesome, too.
She's fantastic.
I saw she was like, I'm like disturbed at night listening.
Yeah.
So it's like,
she has fucking nightmares about it.
Think about what goes on in my brain.
You see pictures.
I see pictures, and not only that, for every one you hear, I look into 10 more before that. So
James legit sees dead people.
Yes,
a lot.
It's getting disturbing, man.
Thanks, Mariah. Mariah Minhier. She's in. She's Dutch. I don't remember where she's at. I'm so bad at fucking countries.
No, not Norway.
I'm no good
either.
at geography. Shane
Finland.
That's
Is it Finland?
No, it's not. That's Cart.
We have a Finnish athlete coming up.
Fantastic! I can't wait. Shane Rayleigh, Kathleen Thill. She's here locally in Arizona. Thank you,
cool.
Kathleen.
Thank you.
David Cook, Andrea Decatur, Nina Tedeschi, Travis Bayerl.
I like that last one. Just stop. Just
Travis, thanks, buddy.
Travis, good job. It's thanks, Travis.
AARB, I don't know. That's got to be a business, right? I don't know what that
American Association of Retired Bomb Makers.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, no.
There's too many B's. There's too many abilities.
I went with a profession.
Ingrid Stock, she's the one in Norway that sends the North Korea bucks. Thank you very much, Ingrid. Lauren Odom, Akpan Akiat. Akpan Akiate.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow, that's a handle right there, man.
Wrong.
I thought my name was hard.
Christina Womack, Travis Hess, Esther Wright, Sarah Grace Love. She upped her donation. Thank you so much, Sarah. Mackenzie Adderman, Chuck Brookman. Chuck. Thank you, Chuck.
That's every way it could possibly be.
Laura Kopp, Kathleen Snyder, Allison Harox, Maggie, just Maggie, no last name. Okay. Ellie, fuck, I ruined this. I knew it.
Fuck.
I wrote it down so poorly. Favorman? No, it's not. It's Ellie Evan Manova. Evan Manova? Or is it Ivan Manova? The first letter I ruined, so it doesn't fucking matter. Ellie, you're terrific, and your last name is brutal for me to spell. Lindsay Lacara, Dan Rogers, Shane Pratt, Lauren Levan, Francisco Esparza, Hannah Colmer, Connie Young, Damian Buchman. I don't know what that is. Damien, thank you.
You said that so confidently, the last one. Oh, no, I got it.
I got it. For sure it's Biauchman.
Nope.
Rachel Davidson, Alicia Fedler, Tiana. No, yeah, it is Tiana. Tiana Williams, Roscoe Conti, Willow Tufts, Samantha Gibson, Jennifer Lamb, Monica Johnson, Whit Turner, Ann Greenlee, Bobby Vint, Jefferson Steelflex. Are you serious? That's a real name?
No.
No, it's for sure wrong,
name.
right?
You can type any name you want, I believe, in there.
Jefferson Steelflex. That's kick-ass.
If that's your real name, dude,
you're amazing.
Hats off, brother.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Congratulations. Get a plaque, and wherever you're at, I hope you have one of those big fucking nameplates.
Dude, that guy's got his cock bronzed. Are you kidding me? He's excited.
It's just out all the time.
And that's why.
And
you need to bronze it.
HR doesn't say shit.
No.
Connie in fucking in accounting complains, and then HR goes, his name is Jefferson Steelflex.
He had to bronze it just to keep the sun off of it. That's the problem. What do you want from him?
Laura Taylor. Sorry, Laura. Samuel Nackman. That's how my daughter says napkin. Samuel Nackman, Janae Content.
It's not Conant, is it?
No, it's not.
Good.
There's a T in there. Robert Riggins, Haley, fucking Bernusky. Oh, that's what it is. It's Haley Bernusky. That's easy.
No,
that wasn't hard. That wasn't so hard
at all.
Thomas Bernard, Melissa Freeman, Wanda Houston, Danielle Longamore, George Saloom, Doug Mace. Thank you so much, Doug. You're a fucking hero. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.
Rob Williams, Andy Tannehill, Maddie Gwynn, Sarah Lindsay, Candace McFarland, Ted No. That ain't it.
No.
Ninkovich. Gee,
that's not that bad.
No, but I fucking ran some letters together, so it looks like...
Ted, this isn't your fault.
No, Ted, that's all me. Ted Ninkovich. I got that. Gregory Teague Jr. Thank you, Greg. I hope you're staying safe and everybody's safe.
Definitely.
Keep away from hurting people. I don't. You're a junior. It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's
right.
Yeah.
Betty
you got
Lou,
potential.
Corey Morgan, Lisa Cole, Chloe Campbell, David Quills, L. Camille Anderson upped her donation. Thank you, Camille. Rick Paul, Camille. Every time I see
my
Camille,
wife Camille.
Look, my wife Camille. She has the money for the tickets.
Sorry,
Rick Paul, and then Kyle Westbrook.
It's a very bad but funny man.
It's an awful man, and he's a fucking genius, and it's pathetic.
Thank you, folks.
You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Really, we can't do the show without you. Every dime is. We say it 5 times an episode, and we mean it. We say it so much because we're not trying to drive it home.
No,
we really mean it, and we don't feel like we get it across strong enough.
It's us telling you thank you
how
over and over and over again.
So thank you guys for everything that you do for us. Everything.
Yes.
Go around the world. Name it. You guys do it for us. You send us things. You're just so damn nice. Even if you're just telling a friend.
Right.
That's amazing. We appreciate it so much. And what if one of these people wanted to tell you something, Jimmy? How would they get a hold of a guy like you?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I get messages and people are like, I can't believe you respond. I ask you to fucking
we're trying to get
me.
you to talk to us.
I'm not going to fucking ignore you. Thank you guys so much. I'd be an enormous cunt to just not talk to somebody that sends me a message. So thank you all.
And I am at Jimmy P is funny, and I am an enormous cunt because I don't get back to most of you. Honestly,
that wasn't nice. No, that's because you're busy as fuck.
The last 2 days, I just got on Twitter today for like a little while. I'm so buried in this shit. It's fucking between editing and this, and I just don't have a second. I read everything, and I really try to respond to you guys, and thank you guys. I appreciate it. I want to talk to you guys.
That's real.
So please keep it coming, and if I have whatever, I'm gonna.
When he has a free minute,
I will absolutely get back to you because I love you guys.
We read
all
of it, though. I promise.
When we do, we read all of it. We take all your case suggestions. I want to say somebody suggested this case. I think I already had it clocked or whatever, but I think somebody recommended it. We read all of those. We love your recommendations. There's going to be a ton more dates coming out. Tour dates, by the way, a ton.
So
just hold up on the asking to us to come to a city because we're going to tell you a whole bunch of cities we're coming to, and then if we miss you, then tell us what we missed. How's that sound? But I'm at Jimmy P is funny, by the way. If you want to get a hold of me, don't try to spell my last name. Copy and paste it from the show description, and come back each and every week. Always. Come see us. We're not going anywhere.
Right.
And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye. Hey guys, I just want to tell you real quick, web support is brought to you by webandwriter.com. If you're looking to build a website, go over to webandwriter.com. They build websites that look great on all screens, graphics, logos, engaging content. Go over to webandwriter.com or go over to facebook.com/webandwriter. They'll build you an unbelievable website at a very fair rate. They'll build you a very great website. Go see them, webandwriter.com.
Wall money. I'm Ed Donahue with an AP News Minute. President Trump spoke today in Kansas City about immigration.
We want people that can love our country and people that can help our country.
The president wants Congress to fully fund his immigration plan, including money for his border wall.
They're playing games. They're playing political games. I actually think the politics of what they're doing is very bad for them, but we're going to very soon find out. Maybe I'm not right, but usually I'm right.
Sources say President Trump will nominate the Army Chief of Staff, General Mark Milley, as his next top military advisor. A deputy shot and killed during a mass shooting at a bar in Southern California last month died from friendly fire.
FBI analysis confirmed that this was a rifle round fired by a CHP officer. This bullet struck Sergeant Helis in the chest and struck his heart.
12 people in all were killed at the country music bar. On Wall Street, stocks sharply lower ahead of the closing bell. I'm Ed Donahue.
If you like small-town murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.